And we are live, guys. Welcome to Crypto Talk Now with Max and Larry. We have a great show for you tonight. There's a lot of crazy things that have been going on in the market. The market has been crashing, and a lot of it has to do with what's going on with Terra Luna. There's a lot of a lot of fear in the market, I would say. And sometimes people say when there's fear in the market, it's time to be greedy. So I was a little bit greedy today. I don't know if it's going to backfire on me. Before we get into that, guys, let's say hello to Max. Max, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, you know what? I'm doing great, and today's a special day for me. We'll mention that maybe later.
Yeah,
I'll try to
yeah.
see if anybody remember. I'll just leave that hint
I,
out there, but
I
I don't want
remember.
Larry. I don't want Larry to say anything, so we'll just leave that hint out there. And then later on, if I don't see anybody say anything, then maybe later you can mention it. So
Well,
anyway,
why don't we just say it right now? Why don't we just wish a warm happy birthday to my co-host here? Happy birthday to Max. Today is Max's birthday. So everybody wish Max a happy birthday in the comment section.
well, thank
But
you. Yeah.
guys, we had a lot of rough stuff going on today in the market. We'll jump over to the screen and take a look at what's going on. And we'll talk a little bit about the overall market. But before we do that, since you already know that I bought, both of us bought Terra Luna, the quick guessing game is, what did I use to buy Terra Luna with? What other crypto did I buy Terra Luna with? If you can guess that. If anybody knows, just drop it in the comment section. Do you know, Max?
Oh, okay. Well, what did you buy it with? Like,
Yeah, I
um,
converted one crypto. I took some of my crypto that I had and took that and converted it into Terra Luna because it was, I'm being a degenerate. It was it's kind of
must
weird to say that Terra Luna is a degenerate play right now, but it probably is.
you got on crypto.com, right?
Yeah, I got it off of crypto.com.
See, I got mine on KuCoin. They converted something to it. I don't know. I originally was going to say USDT, but that wouldn't make much sense unless you're on KuCoin. Um, I'm kind of well,
I'll give you a
maybe
clue.
some.
It's one of my favorites.
I'm gonna say CRO.
Yep, I took it out of Crow.
Yeah,
Like Crow for me is kind of like my stable coin. I know it's not a stable coin, but I just like kind of, when I need to tap into something, I just tap into Crow, and I just took it out and I was like, I just want to go for it. Before I go into talking about what we did with that, and then you can tell me your side of it or tell the audience. Let's just welcome everybody here. So
yeah. Welcome.
welcome
Go ahead.
to
Sorry.
Simba, and then welcome to Julie. Welcome to, it looks like Keith here. I noticed that, yeah, followed me on Twitter. And then welcome to Julie. Julie says happy birthday. I guess it's the same Julie. And then
Yeah, thanks,
happy birthday
Julie.
to Max.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate that. It's a good day to
King,
have a birthday with Shibnobi and all them and CVC.
I know that Kingsman jumped into, because he was messaging me earlier. So he also was jumping into Terra Luna. Um, so Max, tell everybody about what you did with Terra Luna today, and then I'll tell you what I did with Terra Luna.
All right, so the whole thing with that, has been going on for a couple days, and I said to myself, I have a feeling that this could crash like way below $1. So I get a phone call, and it's from one of my best friends, Mike Wool. He's like, "Hey, you got 10 minutes to talk?" And this is like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, something like that, my time, which is Pacific Standard Time. So I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I give him a call, and then he's just like, man, this whole Luna thing. He's like, just like me, like, the risk to reward. It's like a gamble. But man, he's like, if this thing goes to zero, that's one thing. But it's like, we can afford to lose like $100 or something, because if it goes the other way, it could be like life changing. And I was like, yeah, it's true, And at the end of the day, it's like, think of all throughout your life how much money you thrown away at the lotto anyway, right? It's like with that,
Yeah.
it's like you got a one in a, I don't know, 250 million chance or something like that. I'll put this way, right? Here in Phoenix, I kid you not, back in the late 90s, they had this thing about like winning the Powerball. It says you had a better chance. This sounds nuts, I know. You had a better chance of getting bit by a shark, right? Like on the highway, go in the desert basically,
Yeah.
than you did winning the lottery. And everyone's like, well, that's impossible. How's that even possible? Like, we live in the desert, there's no sharks. And they were saying, yeah, a guy pulling like a like a semi truck where with a shark in the tank, there's an accident, the thing comes out and it bites you, is actually a better chance than you actually winning the lottery. I was like, that's crazy. So when I think of stuff like that, I think of this whole thing with like Terra Luna and so on. It's like, well, actually, I do have a little bit of better chance with this compared to the lotto. So I guess we try to justify it that way. But to answer some of your questions in regards to all this concern or these concerns, so we were up late, and he was just like, man, I said, last I saw Mike, I said the price was like $1 something. He's like, yeah, well, it's literally like 44 cents. And then literally like, I don't know, 15 minutes go by, while we were talking. He's like, man, it's like 30 or 20 cents, and then he's just like, I got to get going, but I think I'm just going to settle for this 20 cents. And I said, all right, man, I'm going to wait a little bit longer. And so I did. And I saw that thing tank and tank and tank and tank. And then for the longest time, it was like right around 2 cents for like at least like 2 hours. And I thought that was going to be bottom. I was like, I'm going to wait a little bit more. And then finally got to like a cent. And I said, you know what? This could jump back the other way. I don't want to take a chance of it going back the other way. So I did get a position. Again, not financial advice or anything like that. And basically, I got like 37,000 Luna for a little over a penny a piece. And it was like, I don't know, it came out to be like a little, I think it was like $380 or something like that on KuCoin. Also, I wanted to get off of KuCoin compared to getting it off of Crypto.com's app, right? Because they had a promotion for 20% APY for 7 days. Sure enough, as soon as I got it, that promotion was full. It met its quota. You know what I mean? Like it was all filled up. So I still staked it though, but nonetheless, yeah, I looked more into Luna, of course, trying to find out what's going on with this UST thing and so on. I don't know if you want, to necessarily talk about all that, but
I'll tell you my story real quick on it too. And before I do that, guys, I just want to welcome everybody that has just joined the stream. We are talking about the Terra Luna crash, and I'm sure that some of you guys decided to jump back in. Please don't listen to me and Max because we did some degenerate things today. So what I did was, you texted me earlier in the morning and you told me your story about KuCoin. It was kind of making me wish I had KuCoin because I know you staked it over there, but I don't, I'm kind of a creature of habit. I'm when it comes to a centralized exchange, I like crypto.com, although I don't really use centralized exchanges too much, but I like to go in there and dip into my stash of Crow to mess around with stuff. So I decided to mess around with stuff. I touched my sacred Crow. Like Crow is becoming like, I don't want to say I'm more bullish on it than Bitcoin, but I just think that, there's more room for it to grow. At this point, I am going to be looking to add some Bitcoin when it gets, if it hits 22,000, it bounces off. That's when I might jump into getting some more Bitcoin, but I'm just waiting to see what happens. But as far as my degenerate, I can't believe that I'm saying this because I don't think I ever remember having any Terra Luna. Maybe I had a couple before. I don't remember in the past, but I was like, I'm looking at it as a distressed asset. Like I'm buying a foreclosed home and I'm gonna, have it fixed up and I'm gonna sell it and make some money on it because it was up at like what $80 last week. So I think it has a history of being over $100 or whatever. So I'm like, I don't really know much about Terra Luna. I know it's algorithmic and it's tied to the UST, but I don't really know much about it. But I'm just looking at it as a distressed thing. And so I wind up just dollar cost averaging into it. I think I'm being a hero buying it originally at 2.2 cents. And then I just kept buying and buying and buying. And I'm at 1.25 cents. And I'm thinking that that's great, right? 1.25 cents is the average. And I have a little over 50,000 of them. So I was like, I got to buy a little bit more. I got to go. I got to sink or swim with Max. I got to buy a little more than Max has. But originally I didn't have, I think my initial purchase was like 11,000. And then I was up to like 29 because I saw there was like, there was a limit on crypto.com of like, I thought it was like 14,500 Terra Luna. And then I kept trying to get in there and buy it. I guess it was a blessing that I couldn't buy it because all of a sudden I saw a Watcher Guru say, like it was about 49 or 50 minutes before I started buying it. He said, oh, you can start trading Terra now on on crypto.com. So I just rushed in there and tried to get it. And I was like, I watched it go up over 5 cents, like whatever it was, 5.4 cents. And just me being the way I was being greedy. I should have just flipped it and then bought back in. But I was like, oh, I'm just going to hang on to it. And I kind of was like shooting for it to go to like 7 or 8 cents. But so that's what it is. So now it's less than a fraction of a penny, right?
Yeah, it is. I think it's like, you know, 0.003 or 0.006. It's been like fluctuating back and forth and that. And then for me, it's like, yeah, you know, you wish that you would have waited a little bit longer. But let's face it, there's a lot of guys that wish they would have waited longer. You know, look at my friend Mike. He got his at like roughly 20 cents. He wishes he would have waited. But at the end of the day, it's like you're not going to beat yourself up about it. The ones that are beating themselves up about it are the poor guys out there who, you know, bought it $80 a coin,
Yeah,
or
I forgot to mention that, Max. I feel bad because I don't even know who the person was. I saw somebody on Twitter say they lost $1.2 million
yeah. I
in
mean,
Terra Luna
my
alone. I was
heart
like,
goes
oh
out to those
man.
people. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, some of the top influencers, they said, you know, crypto, it can be like one of the most emotional things out there, and
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. And if you're not like emotionally stable, I guess you could say, crypto might not be for you. And you know, they've been
Yep.
saying that way before any type of crash like this. So, for instance, I mean, what about those people in Terra Luna, right? At $80 or $100 and so on. I mean, talking about emotional, we're talking like all. I don't even know how many holders, you know, held that type of position. But I
Well,
mean, there's
anybody,
tons of comments of people who got
yeah,
wrecked on that.
anybody that's out there listening, just remember that, if you made all your money with crypto and, you lost a lot of money in Terra Luna, just know that it is only money and that you can earn it back because you did it before. So, yeah, I hope that people are not taking it too hard. I can imagine, if I lost $1.2 million, for example, in one token, I'd be, pretty darn upset about it. I'd be sick over it. But this is a good reason why you need to diversify and stuff like that. But
No,
yeah,
you're
so
absolutely
I'm
right.
looking at it now. It won't let me trade it anymore. It's like Terra Luna broke crypto.com again. So I'm not that I was going to sell or buy more, but it's just funny that it won't let me do it
Yeah.
again.
Hold that thought for a second. Let's take a moment again for those who just came in. Saw, you know, quite a few people just come in, and I just want to give a shout out to you all. Thank you so much for joining our live stream today, which hopefully for the most part would be for, you know, talking about Shibnobi, CVC, all that. You guys bring a lot of passion and just like gung ho ness, if you will, to our platform here with what we got going on Crypto Doc now with myself, Max, and Larry. So I just want to give a shout out to you guys. Thank you for the birthday wishes and so on. I really do appreciate that. I'm not one of those guys who's like ashamed to say my age. I'm 41, and I'm an old school gamer slash crypto enthusiast. So check me out on my other channel if you're into gaming. It's the only channel I have the one up on Larry over here with more subs. So um, anyway, it's DPGmaximus if you guys are interested. All right, guys.
So I sold off some ape because I went and bought ape a day or two ago, and then I'm like, well, ape is like the only thing that's really up, so I'm going to sell ape off because I need to get more crow. I constantly need to get more crow, so I sold off ape just because whatever, I wanted to buy more crow, and then I took some of the crow and bought the Luna. So I guess I'm technically playing with ape's money right now, but
And then you can
but yeah.
take that and buy a total of 1 million Luna.
So I'm just hoping that it comes back. It's just psychological. You're looking at something that was $80 last week, and you're like, well, damn, can it just get to 2, 3, 4, 5 cents? You would think so, but the whole system might be broken. Like I said, there's a lot smarter people than me, and there's algorithmic and all this other crazy stuff. So I don't, I'm not somebody that studied this. I'm just somebody that's looking at this as a wounded duck, and I'm just trying to be greedy about it. And I know that it can go to zero. I'm just kind of keeping my fingers crossed that it doesn't go to zero. I'm looking at the risk to reward like this. Either it goes to zero or it just goes to $1. I'm thinking of something like that maybe it could make it back to $1 at some point, not this week, maybe. But, right now it's not looking too good. So I don't really know, but the point being, it was worth the risk because, it's just so cheap right now. And the market cap is another thing that's confusing me right now, because no matter where I look, it's showing me a different market cap.
Well,
Same,
you know
like,
what?
yeah,
Here's the thing, right? So it's like, shout out to the CVC people and so on. It's like you guys might have that too. Well, on CVC, it's going to show the right one. I get where you guys coming from as well, because for the most part, like you want to be transparent instantly, snippity snip, snappity snap. But in reality, with all the constant buy sell, just like crazy. I mean, like I was on KuCoin earlier, and I was watching that whole chart, on the spot trading where it shows like all the graphs instantly and all the sells and buys instantly. Not like DEX tools like theirs, it's just on the fly. It's crazy. And literally you would just see that it just looked like it was a DDoS attack, if you will. It was just boom, 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 just laser focus of sells,
yeah,
buys, and it's just how do you keep up with that? I mean, at the end of the day, certain platforms aren't going to be able to keep up with that, right? It's not going to list the right price on the fly because they're just getting flooded with all this data all at once over what? Just one crypto, let alone all the other ones they got to do trading for, right? Get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, they tried to, I think, slow the bleeding. I guess you could say they shut the blockchain down, which I don't even know how they would do that. I guess we could ask Keith. By the way, guys, if you're waiting for Keith, I think he's going to come on later at 9:30, because we like to have our guests on for 9:30 because we're greedy, or at least I'm greedy. I want to be able to talk and build up this audience and then tease everybody and have the big guest come on at 9:30. So Keith's coming on at 9:30. And but yeah, I just don't even understand how they shut this down. But it's scary because you see this little article from, I'm not crazy about Motley Fool. I mean, I was looking at different things, Forbes and everything, but at the time of the writing of this, it was something like 30 cents or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, I just feel bad for all the people that really lost their shirt on this. Like it's a lot of money to lose for a lot of people. So, to me, whatever I've got $635.61 into this right now. So it's not the end of the world. It's kind of like, some people would have just put $10 in, but I'm basically gambling. I'm at a casino right now. So we'll see what happens.
Well, there's been a lot that's been posted. People want to hear more from Duke Kwan, who's the head honcho over at Terra Luna. And I don't know, did you get a chance to actually see anything that he posted, or?
I just saw a split second of like a video because I was just kind of scrolling through.
Well, I won't give you guys the long gist of it, but I mean, for instance, it's like, he for instance, he mentions that price stabilization mechanism. Basically, it's this thing it's supposed to like absorb UST supply, basically like 10% of the total supply. And he states that the cost of absorbing so much stablecoins at the same time has stretched out the on-chain swap to a spread of 40%, and Luna price has diminished dramatically, absorbing the arbitration in regards to all this. So what happened from there is like this was posted basically, I think originally like on May 10th or 11th, roughly. So like yesterday, and then at first like this didn't work out. So then they had to go into like, I guess you could say like their Bitcoin reserve, and then
Yeah.
that's the whole thing that's trying to kick in to kind of compensate for all this. Yeah, it's just absolutely nuts. But like his sixth post, he states, before anything else, the only path forward would be to absorb the stablecoin supply that wants to exit before UST can start to repeg back at $1. He says there's no way around it. We propose several remedial measures to aid the peg mechanism to absorb the supply. That still didn't work out. Then he goes on to mention, he says, first, we endorsed the community proposal of 1164 to increase base pool from 50 million to 100 million SDR. I don't know what SDR is, but he states decrease pool recovery block from 36 to 18. This will increase minting capacity from 293 million to 1200 million. So it kind of, again, it's kind of like when we look at some of these smaller token projects, like where, we kind of like shake our head or don't like the idea that there's a dev that could like,
Yeah.
make a new supply, right? And it's like, what do you see going on here? You see this happening completely to try to save the Terra Luna, project, or what do you want to call it? So
I was debating about whether or not I should buy it. I'm like, I bought it and I was kind of chasing a falling knife, but I always try to dollar cost average in and out. And I'm just like, well, I can get a better price. It was 2.2. Now I'm at 1.25. And I look like a hero at the time. And now I'm like, man, I feel like I'd overpaid. But I'm saying to myself, man, you put money into Mononoke Inu for crying out loud. Like, can't you just put something into something that's been around? I think
Right.
Luna's been around since 2018 or whatever. And it's done really well. But I'm looking at UST right now, the one that's pegged to, and that's something else I was thinking about. Maybe I should have just bought into that. I mean, because they're trying to really push it back to $1. Do you think that they'll be able to turn this around and fix it? Or what's your gut feeling on it? I'm not going to hold you on the spot, but do you think that this is going to turn around, or are we just looking at a dead asset?
I'm gonna go bold on this one, and hopefully it works out. In which maybe we can reflect back at this. So back in was it 2007, 2008? I think maybe 2009 at the most, but roughly in that area, right? We have the recession, and what was a big thing during the recession, right? It was the concept. A lot of people didn't like the idea that we're bailing out banks, right? But we won't bail out the U.S. citizens, the middle class people. Who's bailing out the middle class? And then, of course, the other debate was, well, there won't be a middle class if we let all the banks fail. I'm not going to get a big political discussion about this and so on, but I will say this: I kind of look at it from that perspective of back then. It might be an apples and oranges comparison, but not too much. And here's why. The way I look at it is there was that old concept of these banks were too big to fail. I kind of
Right.
look at Luna as being too big to fail. I mean,
I
especially with
read that somewhere today. I don't
yeah,
mean to interrupt you, but just to keep it conversational, I saw that today. Like somewhere, someone posted on Twitter that Luna might be too big to fail, and that kind of gave me a little bit of feeling like, I know I'm trying to
heck
take
yeah,
bits and
right?
pieces from other people. Like, oh man, maybe I'm looking for like a that silver lining in the cloud. Some random person with an avatar on Twitter says that it's too big to fail. Oh, that's all the hope that I need. Let me make sure I got more of it. So, but
Right.
yeah. So
No, that's the way I look at it. And then, of course, there's other updates and so on. But I mean, like all this stuff that what's his name? Duquan mentions, like, I mean, I know he's like really hated. People like wish death upon this guy, which I mean, I
he
guess.
seemed like quick. I wish I could see more of it. The video I saw, for some reason, it was just, I think it was on Twitter or something. They only posted a few seconds. He seemed like he was being interviewed by some lady, and he was just kind of laughing and pretty. He's a pretty cool and calm character right now for somebody that
Wait, he's
causing
young,
all
man.
that
I
pain.
mean, he's basically a kid, but I mean, he's a
Yeah.
smart kid. I'll put it this way: for all the people who are like, well, then what the heck caused this whole thing? So there was an article that was put out roughly 3 weeks ago, everybody, in which what was it? There's a different company came. I forgot their name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, they came in and they did this proposal, basically to, uh, it was this thing to move like assets on the cheap or whatever, and it was just this crazy proposal. He went for it, and it was just like it was a real risk because it's like with think about this UST, right? What's it pegged to? Well, it's supposed to be a stable coin that's pegged to the US dollar. What's going on with the US dollar inflation right now? It's pretty crappy.
Yep.
But so some people have that attitude. Well, then what about Tether? What about USDC? Well, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, with UST, you have three different combinations in regards to that. You have what's going on in the Anchor protocol, right? With the at the time was like roughly 18, 19% interest on your
Yeah,
stable
that's
coin.
it.
Yeah,
BlackRock. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry
So
to interrupt you. Is that the company you're looking for there, Max?
there we go.
BlackRock. Yeah.
Citadel. Yeah,
Yeah.
Citadel.
Citadel. Yeah.
BlackRock and Citadel came to him
Yeah.
and made that proposal, and then it was just kind of like that. Just I hate to say it, they like really screwed things up, not intentionally, and they didn't do anything really illegal. But it's like at the end of the day, people want somebody to blame, so of course they're blaming Duquan. It's just there's so many complexities to this, but I'll state this: this is where what gave me hope. Okay, I saw this tweet. This was posted yesterday from his official Twitter, and it says this is like was it post 13 out of 15 or something. It says the Terra ecosystem is one of the most vibrant in the crypto industry, with hundreds of passionate teams building category-defining applications within. As long as these builders, TFL among them, continue to build, we will come out of this together. And it's just kind of like, well, for a guy who's supposed to be really silent and so on, I mean, it does seem like they got something going on. It gives you a little bit of hope, but for the people that lost their, you know what, like $80 and so on, and millions of, $80 a coin, or millions of a holding. You don't give a crap what this kid has to say. You're pissed off, and that, again, my heart goes out to those people. For us who, we never invested in this. This was what, basically like a lotto ticket right now. We're hoping
This is where the scrutiny is going to come in with the SEC, because they're already have these stable coins in their crosshairs, and they're just waiting for something like this to happen. So it might
it's more than just the SEC though, right? So for instance, you had Janet Yellen on, was it 2 days ago? Was on the 10th. She literally brought this up. Like, she literally, out of her mouth was the words Terra Luna and UST, and how there's just, this crap, if you will, that happened. And now it's like, if there was ever a time in which there was going to put, the nail that was going to be put in the coffin as far as crypto regulation on stable coins,
this is it.
Yeah, that was it. Absolutely.
This is it. Yep. That's what I'm worried about. But it's funny. Like I said, I'm not risk averse. I take a lot of risks, which is probably part of the problem why my portfolio is getting crushed. But, I don't even go into stable coins too much. I know I say that's a good thing to do on the show, but
Larry, just real quick, man, hold on just a second. Everybody, if I saw that quite a few more people connected, guys, please help our show by hitting that like and subscribe. Please. It really helps the algorithm. But back to you, Larry. Sorry about that.
Yeah, everybody that hits the like button gets a Christmas present from us this year. We're going to have a Christmas show. No, but by then, hopefully, we'll be giving away crypto. So I'm just looking at it this way, that my stable coin is Crow. And, I get bored with stable coins. I mean, if I'm, feeling a little worried about something, I'll just take it out. If it's in crypto.com and put it in Crow. And then, with a lot of these other ones, these speculative plays, low cap, kitty cat, puppy dog, emu type crap, I just got, my tail kicked on those and just was a little bit too risky. But some of them I did make money. I made some money on Shiba Adventure on the first version. So that was kind of cool. And I took that and bought Hex. And I took that and flipped it because I just wanted to make some quick money. But I should have stayed in Hex. I know that there's some Hex people in here, Hexicans. And shout out to Terra. He says, Hex and Pulse Chain, baby. And then thank you, Vaughn Johnson, for reading the mind of Max and coming up with the answer. Also, Hex is my stable coin. There you go. So he thinks that Hex is kind of like Crow for me. And hit the like and share, folks. You're going to get Hex. Okay, yeah. Well, hey, the show's going to get so big. Maybe we can give away Hex by December. You never know, for Christmas. Crow and Gemini. Okay, Gemini. That's a good platform. I think I got a small account in Gemini. They gave me something for opening up. I don't remember. I haven't gone into it, but I'm not opposed to it. Not your keys, not your coin. Yes. It's got to be in your own private wallet. Yeah, I mean, it's different for me because of Crow with the staking, but yeah, you're right. It's not your crypto. Crypto.com, I'm spoiled because it's so easy to use. And Terrafin says all these emojis right here. Strong, sunny times, to the moon, money, money, money. I guess that's how you read. How do you read emojis? Is there a language for it?
There's a language for it.
Okay. I think I get it.
Yeah, I'm an old school gamer. Like, there's a Quake 3 language, it's like people would put a certain bracket, and that would represent like a line. Like, I used to, like, my name Maximus, right? I used to do it in like Quake 3 language, and it would say it like left square bracket, right square bracket, and that would represent like part of my M, and then on the S for the Maximus at the end, I would have $, and it was pretty cool.
So House of Crypto, I don't know if House of Crypto has maybe House of Crypto has a Twitter or a YouTube channel, but shout out to House of Crypto. Go follow him if he has one. If you don't have a Twitter or YouTube, go ahead and start one tonight. But it says, my best suggestion is hold off buying for a while. We are headed for a deep bear market. Hate to bring in politics into this, but comes down under Biden, and you can't change my mind on that. So we appreciate your comment there. And then, okay, so this one, now let me wait. I got to guess this emoji here. So this one's confusing me because he has a little tear, but the tear is not coming from his eye. The tear is coming off of his head. So I don't know if he's getting rained on. And then so basically he's all wet and he loves it. Right? Am I reading this emoji stuff?
I don't know how the heck you're reading that, but that's funny. I like that.
The tear is on top of his head. The tears need to be underneath his eye.
Oh my goodness.
Terrafin, what are you trying to tell me? Say it in English. I don't know. Okay, well, say something again in emoji language, and then I'll try to interpret. But to me, the tear is on top of his head. Okay, he's getting rained on. Yeah. Oh, Duhas is in the house. Okay, cool.
Yeah, see, you pronounced it right.
Laughing my off.
Yeah. No, you
Well,
pronounced
try to keep it
Duhast
family
right.
friendly, right? I know what he's saying.
Like Rammstein, Duhast. Remember that song? Du hast mich.
The rest of the comments, guys. The rest of the comments in here, I think Keith is coming in a second, but the rest of the comments, let's just talk in emoji the rest of the night so that you guys can teach me how to read it. This is great. I love you guys. Shout out to Terrafin again, but you're not supposed to do that. Well, he's got a laughing emoji. He's laughing so hard he's crying. He's got tears coming out of both eyes. I think that's what he's saying. All right, so let's if Keith is ready to come on, he can shake his head up and down. I think he's ready to come on. Yep, he's shaking his head a little bit, adjusting his hat. I think he's ready to come on. So we got our special guest. We got a surprise visit. Well, I think I already knew he was coming on, but surprise for you guys is Keith from CVC.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How's it going, Keith?
Yeah.
Hey, Keith. I almost thought that, that Larry said Keith, as in crypto Keith. And then I saw you down there, and I was like, okay, it's Keith from CVC. So welcome back, Keith. Great to have you back on the show, man.
Absolutely, man. Definitely. It's a pleasure. Yeah. It's
Before you get started talking about CVC, because we want to talk about it, I got to ask you one question. Did you buy any Terra Luna?
No.
Okay. I shouldn't have bought it then. Now, if Keith's not buying it, then I made a mistake.
No, I daily trade and swing trade Luna. Actually, I daily trade Luna back, I say in the day, but back last year. It's too volatile. It's way too volatile.
Yeah.
And it happened, it's a sad situation. I mean, it's I think it's pegged at 0.0005. I think
it's not looking too good right now. Yep.
My buddy said he's down from $10,000 to $100. Yeah, I think he said it's not even moving. So I don't know what's going on. It's
like I said. I mean, it's like a lotto ticket, basically.
Yeah.
Do you think, Keith? With your experience in this, do you think that this is what's causing the whole market to crash? What's going on with Terra Luna right now?
Oh yeah, it definitely caused. I mean, this is the worst I've ever seen crypto, go down. And remember, nothing's backed up. Nothing is backed up today. In crypto. Did find out information. Good buddies that I know at Voyager, because I talk to them sometimes, and I believe that they are officially FDIC insured.
Oh wow.
That's pretty
over
big.
at a Voyager. They're FDIC insured.
Yeah, looks like right here. Yeah, let me. If somebody can do the research. I know them well, but
that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now to make sure. I have talked to one of them. I just want to make sure, But yeah, there was news that came out about it. Here it is. Yep, Eleanor account. Yeah, there it is. Voyager, yes, obviously US based company, up to 250,000 USD held in your Voyager account is FDIC insured through partner banks. That is big news. I mean,
yeah.
There you go. That's wow. It's like right there.
So they must have had to register with maybe the banking department. Where are they out of? Or they're not in New York, are they? Or I don't want to hold you on the spot here.
That's a good question.
That's okay.
Wait, let me see here. U.S. held. Yeah, they just sent one of my buddies told me they just sent a link out about it. So I guess they fully are now. I don't know if they're in New York. That's a good question. Are they in New York? Does anybody know in the chat where they're at?
Yes, drop in the chat, but make sure you do it with emojis. Do a little picture of the state and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We're trying to get everybody talking emojis so I can learn, because I don't understand emojis too well, except for like smiley faces. But yeah, but I think that these cryptos or these exchanges, like you just mentioned, Voyager, somebody mentioned Gemini. If everybody starts to get up to speed or ahead of the curve with some of these regulations, and I think it's a big step in the right direction.
New Jersey.
Okay, well that's interesting.
Close enough, right? Too. Yeah.
Yeah, the UST thing is sad. I saw people buying in at $2, and I was thinking, has anybody read the news. I mean, yeah, could you get rich? Yeah, you could. Could you lose everything? Yep, you can. And
Yeah, for sure. It's
well, here's the thing: it's not pegged. It doesn't matter. I mean, and this is not advice, financial advice. We always got to say that, you know. But the thing is
yeah.
not. So if it's not pegged, it's at 55.55. Well, there you go. So that thing's going to be going nuts. And what was it? What was it, like 50 cents or 20 cents, and then drop down to 4 zeros? I mean,
Yeah, it's been crazy.
you know, yeah.
It's weird to say it's a degenerate play right now, but it is. But what's well, enough about Terra Luna. That's old news or whatever. What's going on with CVC? What's the latest and greatest cool stuff with CVC with utilities?
Let me state this real quick before you, Keith, tells you about that. I did see roughly when Terra Luna was around 1 cent this morning, that CVC had a nice decent pump for about 33%, something like that. I think currently it's 13. So yeah, shout out to CVC on that, man.
Yeah, and I get it. Look, yeah, right now, actually, as a matter of fact, we might have to move more tokens over, just because, they're everyone's holding on Bitmart and LBank, actually Hopit too. So that's another one that's going. Yeah, my goal right now is, obviously Uniswap. I'm really pushing Uniswap because, guys, when ETH right now is down right now, and when let's say, for instance, ETH goes up to 4,000. When someone didn't know this, they asked me, well, wait a minute. If I right now buy into CVC or any Shinja or anybody, right? My ETH is slow right now, right? What happens when ETH goes up? You're on the ETH blockchain. So your ETH's going to go up, right? Well, what happens when the price goes up? Then everything goes up. You see what I'm saying? You have like a double pump there. So people didn't realize. They're like, oh, well, I didn't know that. Oh, wait, you didn't know that ETH, when it goes up, your value goes up. See, a lot of people didn't know this. So, yep.
Well,
you're absolutely right. Yeah,
it's a weird time right now. I mean, I think that big time. I mean, the big thing to do right now is for everybody to work on their utilities because it looks like we're in a bear market. So, it's pretty easy to see what's going on with everything. It's just unfortunate what happened with Terra Luna because it looks like that's spearheading the way for this market right now. But Max, do you have anything to ask Keith
in regards to CVC?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, I do actually. So we brought this up at the beginning of the show, and I actually said, you know what, this is something which CVC could basically handle. So I hate to get back to Terra, so I apologize, Keith, in regards to that, but you'll see where this comes to place. So yeah, no. So check this out. This morning, or I guess all day long for that matter, maybe even right now, there was a big thing in which it's like, people were checking out crypto.com. They're checking out, in my case, KuCoin. We're checking out everything. And it's just like even what Larry was saying, he was trying to get some Terra Luna. And it was just like the prices were lagging really bad because there's so many buy sell orders and so on. I imagine it's just flooding the living hell out of these exchanges, right? Where it's just that data is not keeping up and so on. And I thought, well, what if CVC could actually handle this? And where I'm going to get back to you on this, actually, I want you to answer that, and then I'm going to do a follow-up with that, if you don't mind. I'm not trying to get too technical on you, buddy, but I would love to hear how you guys are going to be prepared in the future to handle these type of things.
Sure. I'm so sorry. I was texting Cliff. He was telling me it's next week.
No, it's okay.
The AMA with you guys. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Ask me again. Sorry about that.
That's all right. So basically, this morning, pretty much all day long. I mean, I got a position into, Terra Luna. So I guess not financial advice to anybody, but let's face it, it's basically a lotto ticket right now. And so the big thing, at least with crypto.com, was, lagging behind because they're getting hit so hard with, buy sell orders, people doing the quick swing trades. And can you blame them? You can't really blame them. I mean, some did well, some people got wrecked. Let's face it. But the issue was not just coin market cap and so on, but just, I don't know, just anything that did a listing or anything that was an exchange, et cetera, et cetera. It was just too much lag on the right price for that, and it was causing so much congestion that's affecting everything else, if you will. And then it kind of went off my head. I was like, you know what? what if CVC is able to like, accurately, forecast or show the right amounts, not just Terra and so on, right? And handle the congestion and handle this and handle that. For
Like,
instance,
right. No, you mean like arbitrage, basically, where the numbers are not like they're lagging, and basically
right?
like one.
Because I mean, I'll tell you this much, Keith. I didn't get my my Terra Luna on Crypto.com's app. I love Crypto.com's app. It's easy and so on. But for me, originally, I was like, you know what? I want to get that 20% APY off my Terra Luna. And of course, that didn't happen because everybody hopped on that, and then the promotion got filled. But that's besides the point. I had to go to KuCoin because it was less leggy. And what happened was on Crypto.com's app, it was fluctuating from, there was a glitch. Everybody was reporting about on live streams, not ours, but other ones, on top influencers. And it went from like 3 cents to like 50 cents. And it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was pissing people off.
Right. That's funny because that just happened to me too. Yeah. So what I think on that note, remember the time remember we had that little bull market going last year? Remember, guys, when everybody was making a bunch of money, and what happened? Everything went down. Remember that day, that night?
Mhm.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everything went down all the same time. Now that's funny. How does everybody's exchange, everyone go down at the same time? A little fishy, right?
Yeah, it is.
Servers. I mean, so I get what you're saying. I did see that, and actually, that's been reported a lot. Somebody said it went to 50 cents, and then they got a chance, I think, to sell, and then it dropped right back down to like 3 cents. Very fishy. So yeah, when you have a whole bunch of people buying and selling at once, when it gets flooded, it does cause a backlog, and yes, it is delayed in reporting. For instance, I heard of ETH was at 2,000, but then ETH was only showing 18 something. I heard this morning. So yeah, that is a problem. Unfortunately, that's what either if it's not CMC's issue, it's the data. When it comes in all at once, and it gets cluttered, and of course causes the backlog of when stuff is reported.
Right, I
Yeah,
get it. Like, high traffic volume. You guys' hard drives, all that stuff is going to get slammed. It's just
right.
what comes with the territory. I get that. My follow up in regards to that, and we'll get to some of these comments
Sure.
in regards to that. So, for instance, another token project I cover, because I like to cover a lot of things from the metaverse, but not just anything. Ones that really stand out and so on. So, for instance, like with Luna One, they boast the whole thing of. They have this thing in which they have 400,000 TPS, which means terabytes per second, making it one of the world's fastest blockchains. And for me, that stood out because in the metaverse, right? I don't care if it's necessary from the educational standpoint or at a work meeting and so on. Yeah, stuff like that helps. But from a gamer's perspective, right? Like my other channel is a gaming channel, and when I'm playing these games, and if I'm going to be in the metaverse and so on, I don't have time for leg at all. Like,
Yeah.
period. I don't have time for it on my transactions, and I sure as the heck don't have time for watching my character warp around and skip around everywhere. So my thing is this: if I'm doing transactions, I know this is a metaverse example,
Right.
but let's say you guys become the gold standard for like what you basically trying to do with with the listings and everything, and you end up getting to that point, and then you're there, and then people literally go to CVC. Will you guys ever have something like that? Like, for instance, like I just mentioned that 400,000 TPS, the terabytes per second, and so on. Like, will you guys have some kind of? I guess you could say, I get it, where you're going to get hit hard, and it's just what comes with the territory, but how do you guys realistically prepare for things like that in the future, especially with the metaverse stuff going on? I mean, that right there is like
Right.
a multi-trillion-dollar industry that hasn't even been tapped into yet because nothing's fully developed yet.
Right. Here's the thing on that. So the metaverse, I do know. You guys obviously know that working with Plant on that, for the metaverse part. So that's a good question on that part. I don't know how they're going to do that, of course, or how they're going to run. Yes, I do understand. Don't you hate that when it's glitchy? Like I heard people are playing. What is it? The flight simulator. They want to make sure that, hey, it doesn't do this, right? You know, you want it to be obviously smooth, right?
Right.
So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's a question I probably definitely need to ask the developer that, because that's obviously a really technical question. But yeah, on the metaverse part, yes, I get what you're saying. I did go one time to a metaverse, and it was very, it wasn't good at all. It was like like just sections, like it was just lagging. And yeah, it does. It's horrible. That makes sense. I mean, because that's really a technical question for my, developer on that. But yeah, that's a good question actually. So actually, on that note, I'm going to write that down.
All right. Well, it wasn't me just trying to put you on. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of how all this is happening basically within the last couple of days. And I thought to myself, you know what? I mean, if CVC is going to be the go-to platform, which I really believe you guys will be, it would be nice to, see how you handle this. But just real quick, I think Larry wants to and myself want to give a shout out to Andrew. Andrew, welcome back, man. Thanks for the super chat. He says, "What's up, Keith and CVC family? Let's go."
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, what a 3 day! I mean, today, oh man, it's just today's just not a not a great Oh no, actually, you know what? Today's an okay day. It's not a good day for some of the people today. Well, a good amount. I feel bad, and this is why I always mention about staking. It's a big thing, guys. When you stake, your money's locked, right, and it's a problem because when it is locked in and something like this happens, what are you gonna do? It's just I hate to see this. It's almost you almost lost the words because you can imagine how many people are affected by this right now.
That's my thing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, well, I was telling Larry at the beginning of the show, and that is, yeah, for a lot of us like ourselves, we were never invested in Terra Luna, and at this point for us, it's like a lotto ticket. But for those people who came in at 80 or 100 or just whatever, I mean, they had their life savings just gone, and they lost confidence in crypto, and that in itself is going to affect the overall crypto market cap because those investors will never come back for the most part.
And it's like, yeah, and it's I'm looking here. Yeah. Okay. So I have the new. I can look at the new website. You guys can't yet. I gotta shock you guys, right? So
that's all right. Shock us. We like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I want it to be. Hey, everything working. Listen, when this thing comes out, I want it to work perfectly, and that's that is what I'm going to do. I don't want any errors. I don't want anybody, and I just want to make sure everything works right. That's the key, right? You don't want to come out and oh god, here's the failed launch. But interesting. So I believe if this is right, I said this before again, they're ranked 3,000 now at 200 million market cap. I hope this is right at Luna. I mean, I hope it's not right, but that's what it's coming out to right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you think that, Keith, do you think that they can get it to be pegged again with the algorithm and everything, or the algorithmic pegging, I guess you call it? Are they going to be able to recover it, or is this stable coin gone now, the UST?
I really don't think it's gone. I did hear. Here's the problem that we run into, guys. Okay. Okay. Let's say you need a loan, right? And I go to the bank and I say, hey, I want a loan on my whatever company, right? John Doe's company, right? They're going to say to me, wait a minute. What is our asset? What can we take from you?
So I know where you're going with this. I want to hear what you got to say. I know where you're going with this.
Yep. So what is our asset? And I've already asked. I've asked my bank. I deal with a couple, just normal banks like you guys do. And I asked them, what? So it's like, well, the problem is we can't take your company because it's an online business. Plus, it's crypto. We don't deal with it yet. So I was like, oh, interesting. So I can't get money. And remember, that's what that guy said he was trying to do. Quan, I believe it was. He was trying to get a quick $2 billion or something like that. Whatever it was, he was trying to get to help out and stabilize it and to get it back, at least stabilize it so this doesn't keep on dumping.
Right. Yeah, do Quan, right.
Yeah. And it seems like, I mean, oh, God. Was this planned? I don't know, man. This is just so weird how that drop happened. Like,
no, from what I gather, it really wasn't planned, like as far as anything malicious or criminal, right? I mean, technically what they did was legal. But the whole thing it was just totally the wrong timing from like Citadel and BlackRock at the time.
Yeah. Didn't they leverage, I believe? Yeah, they did. Bitcoin, right? Or something like that.
Right. That was the whole thing. So they basically said, we're gonna come to you, Duquan and Terra and so on, and we're gonna get all this for what we want to do is get this all for a discount, but at the same time we'll come, with our Bitcoin, and this will all make sense. And it didn't make sense because what happened was they weren't expecting that the market was just going to tank more, and then
Yep.
also having the whole thing of like three things, right? ANC, right, which is
Mhm.
pegged to all this as well.
Right.
That's the hidden factor that people don't realize. There's that, and then there's these other things I read about the whole thing of, well, you got total value locked, and then your market cap is going against total value locked, but in what?
Yeah. And
In
right now.
UST, and it's just like this giant, humongous mess that you try to put your head around. It's just like it's kind of hard to follow. But I mean, if you read more into it, it's just
I did. I
they
did.
could come back. They could come back, and I think they might as far as UST goes. Now, as far as actual Luna itself, that's where, of course, why we're here, why we're talking about it.
So I do remember that people are talking about blue chip tokens or whichever, that, hey, can they, no, they're the safest thing in the world. Well, we all just realized that anything can happen in crypto. So, it's not funny. It's horrible. I mean, it's just 3 days of, a lot of my friends I know that lost a lot of money. I said, well, I just said to anybody, everybody asked me, well, hey, you don't lose until you sell. Yeah.
Right.
that's the thing. It's like, well, where's it going to go? And listen, it being like realistic here, if this thing goes up, right, and you buy a good amount of whatever it is, Luna, I'm just saying, this is not any advice. That thing goes up a little bit. Well, yeah, you're going to be up good, but do you want to take that risk?
Well, again, it's just don't literally sell your house or mortgage your house or whatever, right? It literally just put a little bit. And again, I'm not saying for you guys to do that, not financial advice or anything like that, but just look at it. It's a lotto ticket, literally.
Here's this guy right here that I'm reading about. This guy said, yeah, thank you to Quan. Of course, this is what he said on here. No, this guy, thank you to Quan. I lost my life savings, and now I can't afford my mortgage. Now, see, this is the problem that we run into, right? So people ask me when I got into Bitcoin and all that. I'm pretty heavy now in Bitcoin, and I'm really heavy, and I've always been, I've been a long time SHIB holder. But people ask me the same thing, and soon maybe Hex. I like Hex, by the way, guys. Hex is that Richard guy. I took a lot of notes when he talked on Crypto Windows.
Richard Hart, yeah.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely.
You see something, guys, we got for Hex guys coming out. I think you guys are going to like this when this new website comes out, because they've been working hard to finally get ranked correctly. But
that was something I was going to mention earlier, because as you know, they're not listed right.
Yeah.
Due to politics and so on, with Binance owning CoinMarketCap and so on. Yep. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So thank you, Keith. Go ahead.
No, they're already fixed. They're already done. And actually we show our new graphs and everything. You guys just don't know it. So we're sort of putting things together. It's taking some time, but yeah, when you guys see this, I think everybody's going to enjoy it. And finally, we can finally release this. And there is a V3 coming out too. Not a V3 contract, a V3 website.
I'm glad you stated that, because I mean, for those who are just like, oh my goodness, we just did
not another contract here.
Right.
Well, I wanted
working beautifully. Yes, I know there's a lot of liquidity. We have it taken care of when it hits at the end of September. Make sure everybody knows what we're going to do. Real easy process. See, when you tell people, and I think that you have, they're like, hey, I trust you. Well, hey, he's never screwed us before. Why is he going to screw us now, right? People understand it, I love to make sure that there's liquidity in the project, because I think it's honest that people have the right to sell. Isn't that what crypto's about?
Thank you for saying that, because at the end of the day, if you can't take profits off the top, what the heck are you doing anyway?
Right. Nope. And then you get with that gas fee, and
you're sending a message to everybody to hodl is basically it. Yeah, don't take profits off the top. Hodl until the end of time or whatever.
Then you're manipulating the market, and then you're starting to get into bad stuff. It's
right. Again, back to Terra, right? What about all those people who chose to still hodl? Where they're at? Exactly.
Here's the thing. That guy here posted on Reddit. So this guy took a mortgage. He said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and leverage whatever he's going to do with Luna. And he bought, I don't know where he bought it, because that's a whole story here, and this is what's happening. So if you have emotion, okay, when you start building emotions into investing in crypto, right? It happened to me. It happened to me before. When I put $100 in Bitcoin in 2016, and it's 2016, where I was like, oh man, what am I doing, right? I followed my friend. I got pissed. I said, dude, what are you getting to? And then I started making a little money. I was like, okay, a couple thousand here, a couple Bitcoin, and I kept on going up and up and up. And now, not like to sell or anything, but I have some Bitcoins, and I was like, okay, now I get it, and I held that long till now. So, for everybody else, yeah, if you have emotion, now the reason why I have emotions investing a little bit coming up, I think it was sometime last year, because I was like, I have a certain amount of money I don't want to use, right? And I start going into that, right? Come on, guys, you buy the dip, right? You keep on buying, you're like, okay, what's happening to your money? Less saved, right? Then the emotions come into it, and then it makes you do dumb things. And that's what happens. You start saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to make $100,000 this month. I'm going to take the mortgage. Now, who needs a mortgage, right? To pay, right? There you go. Now I put it into there. Yeah. Now what happens? The market crashes. Now you're thinking, I need to go ahead and borrow money. Well, guess what? What's the bank going to do? I mean, you're in crypto. They don't know right now anything about crypto right now. A lot of these banks.
I want to take a second just to recognize a few people in the audience. House of Crypto, also Common Sense, the OG of this channel, John Green. You got some fans here, Keith. You got House of Crypto again, Common Sense. I want to go back to something that House of Crypto said. Did you hear anything about this? Someone dispelled it in the comment section, saying it was fake news, influenced crypto. Did you hear anything about Coinbase going bankrupt, or is that something that's
that
not
actually
credible?
was something that has been brought up since yesterday? I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or interrupt anybody, but that actually was addressed by the CEO. And there's nothing, it's basically a rumor. He stated basically that they don't see any huge risk that's in the immediate future in regards to that.
Yeah, and
you can Google search that. There's multiple articles in regards to that. Some of my personal friends reached out to me and said basically, hey, I'm really worried about this whole Coinbase thing. And have you seen the thing posted? And I was like, what in the heck? So I looked into it, and no, because a lot of people are like, man, I got to get my money off of Coinbase and send it to a different wallet or put it in a hard wallet or whatever. Look it up for yourself. You'll see the statement officially from the CEO.
On that note, let's explain to you about the news, how bad it is, and how much BS that comes out. I mean, be realistic. Coinbase going after they're having, let's say a pretty, solid year, right? Oh, we're gonna go bankrupt. I mean, it's just ridiculous, this stuff that comes out, right? You're right. They actually came out. I saw the news just about an hour ago. They said it was a rumor, and it was not. Now this was the news that it was not to be true about it. It's just unbelievable. I just don't get it. And guess what's gonna happen? Everybody move their money over. Come on, right? Now people are like, wait a minute,
right?
We're gonna move our money back over.
The way you guys gotta look at it is just like you see people fudding, right, projects. Well, thing for the longest time, people FUD Saitama. Let's face it, that's one that stands out, unfortunately. But people are going to actually FUD just crypto in general, and even FUD the news. Call it misinformation, fake news, et cetera, et cetera. Right. It's going to happen. All we say is, it's a simple Google search. You'll look it up for yourself. You will see the official statement, and just make a decision from there. If you still feel uncomfortable about it, then by all means, there's plenty of other wallets, MetaMask, a Trust Wallet, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I think people are feeling safe now. Exchanges. Today, Coinbase, Binance. Listen, they all want to make sure your money's protected. Just don't mess with the holder's money. That's what I always. These guys have their money. Invested or wherever's invested, they have the money, and you have to make sure it's protected. Something goes wrong. I better make sure that I solve this problem. That whatever happened, that's one reason why that I'm very strict about, what I do, sending out tokens to exchange. I have a lot of stuff I go through, guys, before somebody gets tokens from me from exchanges. I go through a process of my own, and
right.
We should do. It takes me a couple of days before I send out tokens to an exchange. I double, triple check before I do something. So
let's take a moment actually to read this comment. This was from Selmo Fudd. He's a regular on our show. thank you, of course, for that comment, and also being a regular on the show, Selmo. I do like this comment, and I'm actually gonna have this asked to you, Keith.
Sure.
So Selmo Fuzz says, "Hey, Max and Larry and Keith, would it be safe to say that stable coins got rugged?" I'd like to hear from Keith. I'm also going to give my 2 cents in regards to that, and Larry, if you want to add to that as well, we'd love to hear from what you guys think about that.
So I liked using USDC. It's a great stable. Look, it held. It's pegged at $1. I mean, hey, listen, a safe. Sometimes it's going to go to 0.98, 0.97, but hey, it goes back up. Like right now, USDT a little bit ago was, above, it happens. But when a stable coin goes down below let's just say 0.93 and below, then you start getting, then you start losing money. When it goes to 0.55, you got a serious problem, and that's when obviously the pegs, everything goes nuts. And USDT, I don't know about you guys. I'm a little on my end, a little worried, just every day. Do I really want to keep owning it? Because guess what? I see it going just like it happened this morning. I saw that big dip. If you pull up USDC,
I was there for the dip. Literally, some top influencers that was like clickbait heaven for them. Oh my goodness! I'm not going to name the guy because I follow him and so on. But literally, like he went from the topic of Terra, ended his live stream, to the topic of USDT. The peg is failing or something like that, and it literally got like 1,800 concurrent views and just super chats up to and he was happy as far as that goes. But you know what?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'll say this. All right. So what I said to myself was, "Wow, this is alarming." But then I was like, "It's USDT. USDT does the number one amount of volume in all of crypto, more than Bitcoin. Everything is USDT as far as volume goes." And so then I looked at the entire history of USDT, and this is not the first time that it has done a little slight dip. And so I said to myself, I think people are still freaking out because, and rightfully so, right? Because of everything that's going on with UST from Luna Terra. So obviously people are going to hop on that bandwagon and be like, man, everything is, going to hell in a handbasket. What's next? This is going to be USDC.
Let's see.
I'm not saying it won't dip. I'm not going to say that USDC is not immune, right? To the crazy volatility that's going on. But I will say this, guys, whether you're using, CVC's chart, coin market cap, wherever you're going to be using, as the saying goes on other channels and so on, when in doubt, zoom out. Look at the history, and you will see this is not the first time that stable coins have dipped down a little bit. Now, is it the first time that we've seen some crazy freaking crash like with UST? Absolutely.
Yeah, yes. And I'm looking right now, guys, on USDC. I went back a year. USD looks good. It got down. Nope, it never got down below 0.999 for the past year. Now, if I put in USDT, see, that's why USD. I don't know why people don't use US. I guess preference. I don't know. Maybe you make more money.
So you don't know why more people use USDC?
Well, yeah, I like to. I like it. Maybe USDT you get really good rates. I mean, I heard you.
Well, you do, and knowing that, there's just a lot. Like for instance, like I'm a big fan of KuCoin, right? I'm a big fan of Clearpool. I'm always talking about Clearpool. You can't get Clearpool with USDC. You have to use USDT in order to get it on that platform. So I mean, there's just things like that. But I'm not speaking against USDC at all.
Right? Yeah. And I got to tell you this. I'm looking here. The biggest dip they had was yesterday. Believe it or not, for USDT. Believe it or not. They have gone down, to 99, 90. That's not bad though. It looks like they're more positive than they are negative. So you never want to be negative. But yeah, that was a big one yesterday. That wasn't funny. That was pretty bad, right?
One more thing I want to add to this, guys, and before we, go on to another subject, and for all those who are really worried about this, for instance, Selma, back to your question and so on, a lot of people, you're not the only one, are having a lot of doubts when it comes to this whole thing with stable coins. Now, I will just say this. If you do compare, like what Keith was mentioning, you do compare like USDT, USDC, and so on, look at what that's look at what protocols they're associated with. Look at the staking platforms they're associated with. And the big one that stands out why UST is having such a hard time is the whole thing with the Anchor protocol. The Anchor protocol, the concept and everything is great. We even covered it on our show. So, trying to, telling people, hey, if you want to try to get the most for your stable coin and so on, maybe that's something you look into and so on. Another brand new one, right, that we mentioned was USDD stablecoin connected with Tron. And then Tron has that pairing with Near protocol, right, for the 30%. However, if these things seem like they're too risky, like even though this whole new thing with Near, that's a brand new thing. And the market reflects as we speak the fear in that right now. Not a lot of people are hopping right into that. Instead, what they're doing is they're going with the safer bet USDC, USDT stable coins instead of those ones we just mentioned. Yeah, less APR, 6-7% compared to potentially getting your 18 to 30%. But at the end of the day, people don't want to see what? They don't want to see their darn stable coin tank to 20 cents at the end of the day. So what's your thoughts on that, Larry? I'd like to hear from you.
I mean, I'm probably the wrong person to ask about stable coins because I kind of treat Crow like a stable coin because I'm such a risk taker. But I think my thought is that we are in trouble with stable coins. I think that we're just giving fuel to the regulatory authorities or bodies, wherever you want to call them, the SEC and people like that are just, probably just salivating as a way to come in here and impose regulations. So, like I said, I don't have a lot in stable coins because I kind of like to take risk and everything. So not to say that people don't, people stake it and earn interest and stuff like that. I mean, I get that. It's a good thing, but I'm concerned that people after today also are going to lose some faith in stable coins. What happened with Terra Luna. I hope it doesn't trickle down to, USDT and USC and everything and all the other ones. So what's the other USDD, right? For Tron. I hope it doesn't,
No,
I think it could instill some fear. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think between what happened with Terra and then also the SEC coming down the pike, I think that stable coins, I don't want to say their days are numbered, but I think they're going to look different, maybe a year from now.
And at the end of the day, what does this, further like solidify or like further prove? That at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's from the top or the bottom. We should be doing a lot more of what? Our own research. Right? Yes. Cannot say
I don't do my own research. I just listen to what Max says.
Jeez. Well, okay. That's fine with Larry, everybody. For everybody else that's watching, by all means, for crying out loud, do your own research because you need to. Because at the end of the day, it's like, USDT, what was it? Duhas in the comments just recently brought this up. He says, do you guys think Tether could get rugged? Is it possible? Yeah, anything is possible, guys. I mean, there's so much volatility, but do I see that likely happening? No. Yeah. There's so much volume. Again, for crying out loud, look at, I'm going to pull it up right now, and that is this. I mean, I can easily pull this up. It won't take long, but I'm looking at this. I'm going to search by volume. You're looking at USDT Tether, right? And they're at 918 billion in volume. They outperformed Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin's volume, 66 billion compared to 918 billion. You know what's doing the best right now? Binance USD.
Really?
3 trillion. Wow. Binance USD 3 trillion. Makes you wonder, why is that? Are people, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Somebody out there, somebody out there is welcome to do this. They're going to
get out of all the BSC coins or the tokens.
What are they going to do? They're going to track to see who's taking their, I don't know, their UST. Yeah, exactly, or whatever it is, and they're putting it into Binance, or they're just saying, forget this. I don't even want to be on any type of USD platform, even though Binance says USD, right? I just want to go with Binance because I trusted them in the past. Who knows what it is? But I mean, 3 trillion in volume, man.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it's yeah. No, you make sense, and people got to understand that USDC, chance of it ever going down, what I'm saying, backed, it's going to be tough, I mean, people don't have to really worry about that. Yeah. And look, it's been solid at a 0.98, guys. That's where you want it, you see a 0.9, You start seeing a 0.95 and below or 19, then you have to worry, They just need to get pegged back, but God, it's gonna take a lot of work, I literally never seen a token go down this fast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In
I've never
3
seen anything like it either. I can't believe it still. Like Max and I were talking about, offline and then online, we're saying, oh man, like, cause I'm getting tired. I mean, it's my fault, getting burned with the meme tokens and stuff like that and all these crazy things and forgetting that I even have some of them in there. There's some money in some of these little, you throw $50 or $100 and see, what happens. But, we're going to start getting into the top 100. Max is like, all right, we'll start focusing on the top 500. And now you have something like this happen. So, nothing is really safe. The point of the message is to do your own research.
Right.
Unless you're just, don't just listen to Max, me, or Keith, everybody out there, or any other influencer that you're watching. Make sure you're doing your own research. Use this as a starting point when you're watching these shows and do your own due diligence for sure, because you never know what can happen. Something like this could happen. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to believe. Like, I can't believe it's happening. Like, I never was in really Terra Luna before, but, as the more I learn about it, it's kind of like, man, this is just crazy stuff that's happening.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So House of Crypto says, I am currently eating habanero wings with extra hot sauce, drinking a smooth draft beer, and doing all this at Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay, cool. I like Buffalo Wild Wings. Keep up the good work.
Thanks for the House of Crypto. I mean, you're actually spending time while you're, I guess, apparently on the job with us.
Yeah,
thank you
because you're making me hungry, House of Crypto.
That is making me hungry. But.
So you've got a lot of fans in here. Welcome to Lalo Arliano, I think it is. And Joseph said he bought 18,000 Luna. If it ever hits all-time high again, he's going to be a millionaire.
Lalo Arliano, that sounds very familiar. I believe you're following me on Twitter. So if you're from Metopolis or anything like that, or I guess you're apparently CVC as well. But I know some of you guys follow me from that. Shout out to you all. Thank you.
So this is interesting information you guys want to know about USDC and about stablecoins. So it's interesting. They so capital gains on USDC, right? Technically, if the stablecoin is pegged to the dollar at a 1-to-1 ratio, the capital gain is 0, and there's no tax owed.
Oh wow, that's
interesting.
They already passed it. They passed.
Was that before or after the recent crypto regulation, though?
This is after. This is after.
Oh shoot! I got to look into that myself.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
Yeah. So if you have, that's why USDC is the best thing right now. You're
right.
You don't get taxed, but people didn't realize that. Yeah, they passed it. Now they want to try to pass it back again. So
you're saying that only applies to USDC currently, not the other ones?
Stable coins. This is for stable coins. All
stable coins in general. And even
I thought
even
it was
UST.
It was USDC and USDT. Now I could be wrong. Just to let you guys know. But I know this is for strictly. I know it's for definitely USDC and USDT, but it's saying here for stable coins. So, so if I go out and I pay for a service, then yes, you get taxed. But what you make on there, no, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah.
So that's
okay. What about one more? This is interesting. I know we're on the subject. We want to talk more about CVC because Keith is here.
Yeah,
we should be. Keith, I respect you. We should be talking about CVC. We should be talking about some of the other things and so on. We'll just leave it at this for a second. Unless you guys want us to continue to talk about this, we realize this is a hot topic and we want to be transparent with our audience. So just real quick, my next follow-up is you're stating that, Keith, that stable coins can't be taxed. But what about this? You have it staked. You earned a certain amount, right? Let's say you have $100,000 worth of USDT. And you're staking that, and you've had it in your account, whatever platform, I don't know, crypto.com, whatever, right? And let's say, because of the price fluctuation, let's say it's not fixed, right? Let's say that you earn an average of, I don't know, on $100,000, you earned an average of 10,000. Just throw that out there. That can't be taxed?
For
your staking rewards.
Staking rewards?
Yeah, that has to be taxed, right?
That is different. Yeah. Staking be different than actual keeping. So they're just talking about here. I can send this to you guys, but they're just talking about here keeping it in the stable coin, like keeping it like in USDC or USDT. keeping
Right.
it.
Because my goodness, yeah, if that was the case,
Here,
we all
guys.
have an exit plan. Like that would be the ultimate exit plan.
Yeah,
Pay,
for sure.
Paying for goods and services in stablecoin is a taxable event because the IRS treats it like a sale or exchange of an asset, which is subject to capital gains. Technically, if the stablecoin is pegged to the dollar at a 1-to-1 ratio, the capital gain is 0 and there's no tax owed.
So he could use it to buy stuff and not be taxed. So it's not a taxable event when he goes and buys a car with his USDC or USDT. Right.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's
I
not
think
a
about people that
transaction.
have,
It's like using the digital dollar that they want to create, basically.
well, I'm also thinking about people like who don't have trust set up, right? Like, so that, let's say a person in the will, they get, they have their parents' house, grandparents, whatever, and it's willed to them. Like people set up trust because they want to avoid things like capital gains, right? So it's like that kind of opens up the door for like, wow, well, if I had it in stable coin, if I converted everything to stable coin, I'm not going to hit with this capital gains. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, you're gonna have to pay it on the staking rewards, but if you put $50,000 into USDT and you go buy, a car or something like that, it doesn't trigger a taxable event, is what I'm understanding. What Keith is reading there, so you can actually use it like a debit card and not have to. It's not creating a taxable event to go and spend it. Is what I'm thinking. I'm understanding from hearing that.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Steve, let's talk about CVC. I got to ask you about, because I just have a simple mind. What do you think about the crypto bubble idea? Do you think that's something that you might want to try to make a version of it?
I like the idea. Yeah, do a different version of it. But yeah, it's great. Wow, it's so funny that not funny, but Luna shows up right there. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, cool.
You'll have somebody. So again, we'll figure out our own version, of it. But yeah, it was brilliant. Click it, boom, go right to
I think it would be cool, like right off of your CVC here. I got the wrong one. Like if there was a little option to click on your little crypto bubble type thing,
right?
That would be kind of cool. It's just another way to view what you've got here, the information. And I just see more and more people. Like I've been using crypto bubbles, like, I haven't been a YouTuber a long time, but I see more and more people kind of starting their streams because it's easier to kind of see this, as a picture. I mean, picture's like kind of worth 1,000 words, right? Rather than looking at, nothing to say against, how you have it, but it's just nice to have a different view. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
What you have here. But yeah, so.
Yeah. Yeah, thank God all this can be changed. Everything. We have different data now being pulled. There's so many different things that we're going to change on there. It's just, V1. Hey, version 1, you have to, which you only have a certain amount of budget to get that, to work. And now you got version 2, which is going to be completely different. The page is going to be wider. It's just going to be, it's going to fit on your phone finally.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, everybody's iPhone and Android, even Galaxy. Just certain phones. The page is going to be smaller, going to be too big. So, yep, we're going to make sure.
Yeah, for me, CVC is a long-term hold. What I have invested in it because you actually have a product. You have something that's there. It's not a promise of something. So I just think over time. These are things to look at for people that are investing. Obviously not financial advice, but I just like the idea of picking something that has real utility. You're somebody that I can actually see on camera and talk to. That's a big bonus for investors. The transparency, sort of like the Cliff Fettner approach of, coming on and doing AMA almost every night is what people like to see rather than just seeing like an avatar and you don't know who's behind something. So it's good.
Right. Yeah. And that's, good.
No, I was going to say, so you might have already said it, and I might have been distracted. When do you think your next version of your website's coming out, as far as the charts and the listings of everything?
We got a sample of the exchanges coming out with showing the volume. The volume, per 24 hours is another thing. It's crazy. I look on there, I'm like, God, some of these that are on the front page are the same, the same exchanges that haven't moved. So, having those on there and with a volume of 120 million, they shouldn't be on the front page. Because remember, you're defaulting it with volume. So you want to know, hey, what is the biggest volume going on right now? Isn't that the point of it? Not to pay for somebody to be up, the top. If you want to pay for somebody, then you have them as a sponsor up top.
Right. Yeah.
That's fair. Because now you're starting to manipulate the market. Because now they'll be like, well, wait a minute. Binance obviously is number one. They have 12 billion in volume or something like that. But yeah, you start looking at it, you're like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. I'm confused now. When you start going down, the volume just gets weird. Now they say they base it off of ranking, but what are we ranking now here? I mean, what? The company's been around for 10 years? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we really ranking on score of? So, think about it. Guys on the front page. It's time that we get the right people on the front page.
Right. Yeah, I see you got the sponsor up there on the top, Hex. That's really cool. So we talked a little bit about maybe something like crypto bubbles for CVC. How about something like Dex tools? Is that just that's maybe a little bit complicated to integrate something like that? That's like a whole nother ball of wax to implement something like that.
Yeah, first we'll probably work on that with V3, but first thing we want to do is get the graphs out there, get the data out there that people want to see, the holder count, all different things, The
accuracy is what people are looking for, something that's actually accurate and no politics involved with who's getting listed in the top 100, for example. I think is
oh yeah. Trust me,
yeah,
guys, the whole front page. Well, first of all, just looking at it from my view, it is all different than what you see right now. So what you guys are seeing, I'm seeing something totally different. There's, like I said, say Tom has moved, Shin just moved forward, Bolt is not right yet. All these guys are not right, man. Nope.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go by volume, and that's
right.
Yeah, I see some people at the same spot that haven't moved. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's a crime what Coin Market Cap does, but it certainly doesn't help people because some people, like we've said before, are only looking at the top 100 in terms of investment on crypto, and
especially now.
Especially now. Yeah.
Right. Yes, sir. You are totally correct. I mean, it's and by the way, I didn't mean to interrupt you on the note, but guys, is it me or is Luna not moving? Is it?
Yeah. Let's go and look at. Let's pull up Luna here.
I just wonder. I just feel it was. I know it's about. Hey, tonight I get it. Cliff just told me he's going to schedule it for next week. He said, right, with you guys.
Yeah. So anybody that's with us now, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but Cliff had had something that came up, a schedule conflict, and he asked to reschedule for sometime next week. I said, hey, that's no problem. We're very flexible. So he's going to think about it and try to come up with a date that works next week, 9:30 sometime next week. Cliff will come in. So Cliff was going to come over, but he had something going on that was a conflict. Yep.
He's got a lot of,
Yeah, I mean, these things happen. We understand. I mean, just like if something like with you, Keith, if someone comes up and anybody in that regard. So
that's totally fine. Yeah, stuff happens.
Yeah, I'm so busy with all this craziness, obviously with the market going nuts. And of course, their BNB contract getting ready soon to come out. Doja Swap coming out. Oh, man. V2 and then V3, guys. Did you hear about V3? So you understand, just V3 is going. I've already seen it. You guys are going to be, wow, when you guys see this. And here's another thing. Do you know that you guys, instead of going on exchanges, you can swap BNB for ETH and ETH for BNB?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes, are you talking about Shibnobi? I couldn't hear too well.
Yeah. The new, so V3, you'll be able to swap BNB to ETH and ETH back to BNB.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. On Dojo Swap?
Dojo Swap V3.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. We'll have
that
to
is
talk
pretty cool
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. V2.
I know he's always working hard and he's always like on camera doing the AMAs and voice chat and everything. So, we're looking forward to talking to Cliff, and hopefully, if you have time, you can pop by for a few minutes when Cliff comes on.
I
think Tedi Ganja is coming on too, so it'll be good.
All good with me. I mean, I enjoy this stuff. There's just so many things. What you guys see on? Is it moving or is it me for Luna? Because I see it pegged at nothing.
I mean, it's changed a little bit. It's at 0.00561. I think when we were starting the show, it was 007 something.
But you guys got to keep in mind. I mean, like even this morning when that was like at like 2 cents and so on. So, even crypto bubbles and Coin Market Cap and so on, they were lagging behind so much that I was like, I gotta get on a different platform that isn't getting hit this hard. So I went to KuCoin, and on there, for the most part, like they were pretty accurate. Like it was listed at like slightly under a penny, and just constant buy sell, or it's just I think at the end of the day, it's just like what their network is, and how much of a workload can they handle. I mean, crypto bubbles really, like, I mean, I don't I'm not bashing crypto bubbles, but if everybody's hitting crypto bubbles all at once and they don't have, what I mean, like the hardware to handle that, they might be lagging behind too. Get what I'm saying?
Right.
Well,
Yep.
this is it. Yeah, this is kind of like almost unprecedented with the amount of crazy volume that's going on, and it may be just overloading pretty much anybody right now at this point. I mean, Keith would know better than me from a
Yeah.
software standpoint, but it looks like just about anybody could experience a glitch right now with the craziness going on with Terra and what's going on with UST. So, but yeah. So, did you have anything else? I know we want to be respectful of your time, Keith. Do you have anything else you wanted to ask, Keith, while we're here?
Oh no, I'm fine, guys.
How about you
Okay.
guys? How about the community? Those
Yeah.
who are watching right now, we would love to hear from you guys. I mean, Keith is here, guys. If there's ever a chance for you to ask him something, now would be the time.
I'm finding more information about the stablecoin, guys. So transferring stablecoins between wallets is not considered a taxable event. Oh man, guys, I didn't even know about this stuff.
Can you say that one more time? Say that one more time, Keith, if you don't mind.
Transferring stablecoins between wallets is not considered as a taxable event and should not be reported to your tax return. Oh, to your taxes. I'm sorry, to your taxes. Wow.
So
Yeah, that's something.
eat that, IRS. Yeah.
Wow. So wow, man. I mean, this is pretty cool. So bill got passed. Obviously, remember the bill that got passed beginning this year. So they're saying that, yeah, it looks like so it's USDC and USDT. I thought it was all stable coins.
Just those two. Let me ask you this, Keith. What do you think about the threat? Is there a threat to crypto with the digital dollar, with the government coming out with something like its own stable coin? What do you think about that?
Well, on that note, so understanding, everybody's worried about, yes, I understand about the dollar, what it's worth. It's worth, who knows? I mean, what is it worth right now? 40 cents, whatever it is, right? But the thing is, but crypto doesn't affect Bitcoin, though. Because remember, it doesn't really go off of it. Now, stocks, it does go off of it, right? But I think this is the time, guys, we're going to see crypto start moving. And we're going to start seeing people come in and be like, okay, I get it. Some of the big investors, they really want to see, okay, what backs crypto, right? That's what everybody asks me. Well, what's the utility of CVC, right? The same thing, what backs crypto, right? Really nothing, I mean, no offense. You go buy Pepsi, right? Stocks are there. Oh, okay, cool. It shows me I own Pepsi, right? It's backed by a company, right? But do we realize what if it went under, though? What do you get? So the same thing, I guess, that can be used for crypto, right? I mean, Bitcoin, is it going to go anywhere? Obviously, not. You know what I'm saying? Well, I believe Bitcoin is renounced. I mean, it's who, we don't even know who owns Bitcoin, but we know that crypto here, the dollar, if they, that's a good question. Do I really think it's going to hurt? I don't know. What do you guys think? That's a tough question. It's a tough one on there.
I think there's always different talks about stable coins. Like I think there was talk about PayPal. I don't think they have one out, but PayPal having a stable coin and these different companies.
Oh, that's going to be big.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm glad you brought that up, Larry. PayPal was talking about doing a
PayPal was talking about doing it. That would be big. What about somebody like Amazon coming out with one? I'm thinking about, I haven't heard anything, but if they came out with one, that would be interesting.
It's going huge if you have these. I'm just letting you know. I mean, hey, Amazon finds another avenue. Well, no offense. They already make money anyway. My God. That guy.
I think that if the US dollar has a digital dollar, I think that could be a threat, to crypto in general, possibly. Maybe not Bitcoin, but I don't know.
It depends on how
Max?
things are set up. Yeah, it depends on. I'm glad you give me a chance to, call me. But what I was gonna say is, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, Larry. And the reason for that is because if it's tied into crypto, then it's a threat, right? But if it's just going to end up being like the debt, kind of like how we look at a debit card, right?
Right.
I mean, technically speaking, that's digital to a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, if it's not that big of a change and there's nothing really too crypto related, like how about this? I think this will be the end of the debate right here. Will it be tied to a blockchain? And if the answer is no, then I don't think it's a threat. If the answer is yes, then I'm not saying it's a threat, but if anything, it actually might help. I know that sounds like a crazy thing.
Yeah.
It could help because at the end of the day, we're talking about the IRS. We're talking about all these things. And what do we hate in our politics? whether you're on the side of the left or the right, or like me, you're right in the middle. What do you hate more about politics? You don't like the idea of this guy's going to pass this bill and he's going to claim that the funds are going to go to pay for this, and then we find out it doesn't go to pay for that. It goes to pay for this other thing, right? We hate that, right? Well, for the most part, we hate it. Sometimes we have to do it. But at the end of the day, what's great about blockchain technology? We can track everything, right? That's the beautiful thing about it, right? Like a public ledger that everybody's able to see, right? Hence, when we're on Etherscan, hey, this this whale came in and he bought this and he transferred to here. Or, this token project, do they have initial adequate liquidity? We can verify all that thing. If it's going to be, if this digital dollar, if we are able to have blockchain technology, that actually might be a great thing, because we can track everything, and it eliminates what? Things like corruption, because it can't be manipulated for the most part.
Well, I think that, with the US dollar, if they have a sort of their own stable coin, it's kind of all tied together, because you got the SEC coming in first. They want to come after, and the banking guys that are the old guard, so to speak, that are controlling everything. They want to go after
the old guard.
coins.
I like that. I like it.
They want to go after the stable coins, right? Because they're paying these great rewards.
Let's regulate the stable coin watching. It's like, what? Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Like, dust these guys off. They got like 10 layers of dust.
Right.
Just literally, they got to get back to work. Let's regulate
the digital
this.
dollar. I mean, the dollar's not going to pay these great rewards, right? Like he's talking about, he can stake things and get these great rewards for the stable coins. I mean, is the dollar going to do that? No. So if they can come after the stable coins and regulate it because they don't like the rewards going on, the dollar's going to come out and give you what, 0.5% or something for staking, like a savings account. That's what I'm thinking is coming in, where it'll go after the rewards that are tied to stable coins. But that's just a gut feeling I have.
Yeah. I mean, no, you're right. I mean, think about it. No, you are correct. I mean, it's a tough call, because, think about it, guys. You can right now, okay, let's just talk about this, right? Crypto.com probably has the best rewards. I heard others are going to do the same thing, right? You can make, how much is it? 5%, whatever it is, rewards. This is ridiculous. You can't beat this. What bank's going to give you 13% on your money?
Right.
No one.
Yeah.
Right.
What's going to happen is there's going to be soon no more banks that you're going to be able to walk inside. They're just going to be, hey, there's the ATM. Boom. Right. There you go. Hopefully soon they don't get rid of money, because that'd be, then everything's going to be, everything's then going to be, they're going to track everything. But think about it. Do we really need to walk inside of a bank? No. When I went inside of a bank one time, I had two people come up to me and say, hey, man, you looking for a loan? Are you looking for a mortgage? No. But thank you. I like to use everything. I just don't like loans or anything like that, because I hate it. You got to pay interest, But the first time I'm getting bombarded, and I was like, man, I asked him, how's it going? He goes, oh, it's not too good, because, the economy is going to, crap, he said, And it's amazing. I walk in the bank, and that's the first thing you go through, right? You go to the dealership, right? You get bombarded by people, like, you know what I'm saying? No, I have my own guy I go to, right? I have my own salesperson, right? So it's the same thing that we're running to of, are they going to be able, no bank's going to be able to challenge a 13%, a stake in rewards, right? Nobody can challenge that right now. So crypto.com, right? Come on, guys. You love the card they give you, right? Boom. Yeah. Go right in there. I get 3, 4, 5% rewards back. And I guess, I don't know what else you get from it, right? But what are we doing here? My God.
Well, they took some heat because as they slashed the rates and so on. But even lately, with everything going down, I did notice that my because I originally moved my CRO from the native app to the D app wallet, and then I went with Chromium. So originally I was at 11% or 12%. Then it would dip down all the way down to 10, and now I'm back at 11%.
10%, and people are complaining still. Now let's go to a bank. It's what is it, guys, right now? 0.1 for like $1 million or something like that?
Not like 0.5%, not even that.
Oh, yes, sir. You're right. So how are you going to be able to challenge these guys? That's what I'm saying to you. So the government's like, well, man, I don't know what to do. We can't really regulate crypto. I mean, what are they really going to do? Hey, you owe this, you owe that. They can't do that. Obviously, they can try, but nobody.
But they are regulating crypto to a degree. So for instance, like OKX, right? Their exchange, Bitmart. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of Bitmart. You're either for them or you aren't. But let's face it, at the end of the day, there's great promotions. What annoys me the most, I'm a U.S. citizen. I cannot take advantage of some of the coins I own on the promotions. My Robo Inu, I can't get the 150% APY. They have flash sales. For crying out loud, they had Doge 100% APY on there. Shiba Inu, they had 100% APY on there. Those sold out like quickly, and I can't take advantage of these programs because I'm a U.S. citizen. So I had to tell my friends who have family that live overseas and so on, hey, work out a deal with your freaking aunt and have her go sign up on this and work this crap out because this is nonsense in the United States. And it shouldn't be like that. We were the country that was supposed to set the standard for like freedom and all this crap, and there's this regulation. I understand that at the end of the day, the stablecoin thing kind of makes sense, right?
Max, if you want to throw something or break something on camera, go ahead if it makes you feel.
No, it just disgusts me because it's like, I mean, I have to go jump through all these hoops just like you guys, right?
Right.
Pat just said, my dog just said that he's just said the 3 letters again, VPN. He said you got to have the VPN.
Yeah, but
not
okay.
My dog said it, not
what
me.
about my verification with the second thing, the ID and showing all this stuff? That you know what I mean? It's more than just the VPN, man.
Right. The thing is, these.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, you guys now can get loans on these exchanges, guys. You have 100, whatever it is, you have 100K. I don't know what everybody has. It doesn't matter, 10, 20, 30, whatever it's going to be, right? And you can borrow on your own money for 3%, 5%. Who does that? I mean, it is boom right there. You can use money, right? So you have 100,000, whatever it is. Let's say another thing. You can take the money. I think it's on crypto also. You can use it. Like, let's say you buy, whatever, Crow, right? And then you could borrow that money, right? You put in there, still have it in there, and then you pay a percentage of whatever it is, 3%, whatever it is, and take the money out. Guys, this is genius. No bank can do this.
Right. That's why I think the regulations come in, because of it's just about, we got to protect the bankers. We got to protect the old guard, But is Ronald Reagan here tonight? We should ask Ronald Reagan, or Ronald Reagan's not here.
But the problem, if Reagan was here, he basically say about this whole crypto wall, he would literally say, Mr. Biden, tear down this crypto wall of regulation on the United States and tear it down now.
Right.
That's what he would say, yeah.
Here's the problem, though. The problem is, they can try to regulate, but how are they really going to? I mean, no offense. You can't send everyone. I mean, I'm just saying to you, like, hypothetically, everyone a 1099. It gets really confusing. That's just why they haven't started regulating. They're like, wait a minute. How am I going to be able to approve? Well, then, wait, hold on. So I'm going to wait. Your money's already taxed. We're going to tax it again. It's not going to work, guys. I'm telling you. It's going to be.
So you think it's just too crazy to control? Is that what you're basically saying?
Right.
Too much to keep track of.
They're going to start. Well, that's me. But again, I think what they're going to do is they're going to start going after these tokens, and exchanges saying, the little guys, right? They're going to knock the little guys out. They're going to say, hey, John Blow token opened up. Okay, cool. What kind of business? First of all, does anyone even have a business plan? Because I do. I've had a 5-page plan before I even opened up CVC. So
I had a business plan to do for my master's thesis. It was 100 pages, and it was about a video game I was going to make back in 2015. And I went to 2 different venture panels. They got too greedy. The first one said they wanted 85% of the profits. The second one, they wanted 65% of the profits, but then they want to do a forced buyout deal after a year, which anybody in the video game industry knows that if you're going to develop a game, it takes a minimum of 1 to 2 years. And that's if you're a AAA developer. And I was going to be a low budget developer, and you're going to tell me you're going to force me out of a year. So I said, to heck with them both. I said, I'm going to make it on my own. And I have been. And my exit plan is I'm still going to get to that dream. I'm still going to make my darn video game. It might be in the next 5 or 6 years, but I'm not going to give away 85% of my profits to these guys, especially when I have to give Epic Games a 5% royalty fee off the top just for my game engine, which at the time was Unreal Engine 4. I get it, it's Unreal Engine 5. Right. By the time I get my game out, it'll probably be Unreal Engine 6. So anyway.
No, that's awesome. No, this is great news. This is I was just saying, they just announced They just announced, let you guys know that big exchange. They just announced while we're talking. It looks like 5:31 deposit time. So this is God, there's too many exchanges. 4, 5. This is number 5th exchange. Deposit time May 31st. Launch, which is trading time, is June 1st, and June 2nd is withdrawal. This is gonna be great, guys. So just letting you know.
But yeah, to answer your question, I can relate when it comes to the business plan. Yes. So hats off to you if you did a proper business plan. It's very time consuming, but it's worth it, especially if you have investors coming along and so on. I didn't go after my doctorate degree with a dissertation. That would have been 1,000 pages. I'm good. I don't need another piece of paper to say I'm Dr. Maximus or anything. I'm not gonna say my real name, but
I'll say something on the Max on. So let's talk about another thing about loans and getting investments. Well, the problem that you run into, you got to be very careful, because what happens is when you get investments, and you have let's say partners come in, what happens? I want to have that wallet. No, I want to know your wallet. It gets real bad, guys. Then you got people like, well, hey, I want to know your seed phrase. You see what I'm saying? You usually lose control of the business. So, I get it. Some people want investors. Be very careful. We know, let's say 3 people have those wallets. What's going to happen? One day, one guy's or girl's going to say, you know what? Forget you. I'm just going to go ahead and pull everything out. You see what I'm saying? This is why.
Dangerous.
No, I know. Yeah.
Very dangerous. Yeah. Crypto is a whole different animal when it comes to partnerships, I'm sure.
Right. You got to be sure. I have so many people. Do I have somebody that wants to buy the whole thing out right now? I'm like, no. Thank you, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're probably not going to me. And then, there's a tech company that just likes the whole thing, but they want to get it obviously before. And I'm like, man, and they're real. They're actually real. They're legit. Like, I talked to them, and I was like, man. Well, thank you, but, people want to get before you get bigger. They want to get it now before you grow,
Yeah.
And know that we have now the APIs for this. So I think people are realizing, oh, man, the V2 is going to be 80% our own APIs. V3 is 100%. 100%. We won't have to worry about relying anymore on CMC after that.
Nice. That sounds really good. Yeah.
A lot of work, man. It's.
No, I believe you. But one thing that I think people will consistently see that you bring to the table, Keith, is your level of passion, your level of knowledge, and at the end of the day, retail investors who are still in this game with crypto, who decided that they still want to stick around. They still see these buying opportunities. They're not new investors. Let's face it. A lot of these guys who are watching as we speak and watching you and so on are the ones who are seasoned veterans, if you will, to this whole crypto game. And they appreciate, of course, your level of transparency, how you're here, just even coming on. And putting yourself in the space and so on. Even we get it. Cliff didn't get to show up tonight. And but again, what does he always do? AMAs literally almost every day, literally set the standard for devs on right.
We're trying to take the Cliff Fettner approach to live streams. We're trying to do one every night, so we're following his model.
You know what we did? It was his 18th straight day, right, Larry? 18 straight days.
Yeah, 18 straight. Yep.
So it's a grind for us. We get it. We're not like a big influencer channel, but you want to know something? Like we've always said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neitder was this show. So guess what? We're going to keep plugging away. We're building up the audience. We got people like shout out to Common Sense, people, Selmo Fudd, Kingsman, Do Haas. I'm just naming out some. Mrs. NFT Queen, who's not even here today. You, Keith, who shows up like,
Oh, no, I was throwing free. Bitcoin just broke well above 30. Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Okay. Bitcoin going.
Man, you know what? I'll say this much. We're talking about Richard Hart earlier.
Yeah.
My God, has that guy been spot on? So he said every 3 years, I'm serious, every 3 years, and this interview, I forgot what network it was roughly like, I don't know how long ago. But anyway, this was covered about at the end of the major bull run for Bitcoin went up to 66,000. He said that every 3 years, there's going to be these crazy crashes for both like Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to affect everything. And literally he called it not the exact percentage, the 65%, but man, is he close. He is so close. But the cool thing is this, Investor Place, they did coverage on this. I don't know if you guys know who Charlie Shrem is and so on. He's from the Bitcoin Foundation. He's been in Bitcoin since it was $5, made $40 million in crypto and so on. And on Investor Place, they recently put out an article stating that after this crypto winter is over, and they had graphs and everything to back it up, and they've been spot on it too. They said that we should see 3 years of like one of the best bullish times in crypto. And I hope to God that is true. I hope Richard Hart,
I hope it takes
is
Terra
true.
with it too. I hope Terra Luna takes off.
Dude, if it takes off, we won't be talking. Like last year, the big talk was Shiba Inu. Hell, I made 88K in Shiba Inu last year. Hell, hence why I'm here doing these shows, right? But I'll tell you this much: Terra Luna takes off, everybody's gonna be talking about Terra Luna, and it will restore faith into the crypto market.
We need it to happen. Yeah, I need it to happen. I got 50,000 Terra Luna right now. It's my scratch off ticket to see what happens.
50,000 worth. I just I forgot when I bought in a long time ago. What's 50,000 worth right now?
It's probably not worth hardly anything. Probably like $70. I can go into my crypto.com.
So you do that thing goes up 1 decimal. What it's worth?
You're right. You're right. Yeah, I mean, for those, of course, that didn't get in right originally.
So
I put like 600 and something into. Oh, you see, it's frozen on my crypto.com. It's just totally frozen.
It's frozen right now.
It's frozen. It doesn't show what it's worth. It was showing it's stuck at $409, but I know it's not worth that. It's probably worth like $70.
See, that's what I'm saying, Keith, man. That's what I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, man. That's where CVC, you guys could be like the gold standard as far as like the transparency of just back and forth, being able to go. You could be the go-to. I know you guys are going to be go-to plays, but you know what I mean?
I think, and we won't put any, first of all, that's another thing, but anybody's information on there. Absolutely no. That's basically definition.
Well, thank you. Yeah, if you don't need it on there, it don't need to be on there. Yeah.
CMC did back in when was it? Back in July. They did for for Saitama. I remember that little thing on the cross. They made it look like it was an advertisement.
That was bad. And I actually, funny, I talked to them about it. I was like, man, come on, guys. It was hard coded. It was hard coded on there. You can tell because it's not an advertising block. Think about it. Come on, guys. Look at the spaces that you see right now. I mean, it was all but and Tony took that down immediately. Wow.
That was bad.
You want to talk about a legitimate lawsuit? That would have been the one right there.
Yeah, because it puts fear in the minds and hearts of investors, and that can make a lot of people sell off. Something like that goes on. That's bad.
I've never seen that. I don't think in my whole cryptocurrency time here, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, no company should ever do that. That's me. Do I believe that whoever did that got fired? Absolutely. I mean,
Common Sense's retirement plan. He says here, I'm going to retire from CVC. So hopefully that happens. But 16. Oh, he's got 16 million Luna.
What's that, Keith? Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, geez. Oh, no.
No, I think he's got 16 million coins, not $16 million. Yeah.
No, 16 million coins of Luna. That's a pretty good amount, though.
Yeah. Oh, he's got 16 million. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, I've only got 50,000. Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I was tempted, man. I was tempted to put $1,000 into
who was it?
Yeah. No, I said at the end of the day, I was like, man, do I really want to? Because my thing, I was talking with Larry. I was just like, we don't want to be like crypto broke or whatever. I mean, our portfolios have gone to hell, right? The last year was amazing. It was just absolutely amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
And so I was like, literally like today's my birthday, right? And so I was like, I can't believe this. I'm gonna put like $400 into Terra Luna, right? When it was roughly a cent. Mm-hmm. And all I had to do was wait 1 more hour, and it would have been like half a cent. It could have got twice, but it's all right. But it's just, you never know. It could have went the other way. So I put 400 into it, and I literally said to myself, well, I guess you might be eating ramen for a while. Instead of having a great meal for my birthday tonight, I might be eating ramen, but you know what? I'm cool with that. Last year, everybody was saying, dude, you made 120 grand in crypto, right? With Shiba Inu and Doge and CRO. Those are my big 3, right? I made some others, but not as big as that. And my friends were saying to me, like, why didn't you buy a brand new car? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you? Guess what? I drive a 1997 Cutlass, right? And it has 56,000 original miles on it. You know why I still drive that? Because for one,
all our money's
I'm a little bit frugal. And 2, I'd rather put in crypto because at the end of the day, in the future, Larry and I, and maybe some of you other guys,
And Common
we're not
Sense is
going
going to buy his own island. Yeah.
I'll say this much, guys. We're not going to be the show where you see these guys renting the Lambos, putting on a front. Guess
Yeah.
what?
Right.
Those will be what we own. Now, of course, I'm not going to buy a Lambo. For me, I'm going to buy some classic cars. I'm going to get my 64 Impala convertible. I'm going to get my 1950 Mercury.
I
I'm gonna
told
get
you
a
I
few of
had
the
a
newer
64
cars.
Impala,
Yeah.
but I was 19 years old when I had a 64 Impala convertible.
That's me. I'd rather be the guy. Yeah, I'd rather be the guy
rid of it.
cruising around with a classic car. That's just like in showroom condition, really nice. I
Yeah.
don't need the Lambo. I'm good.
No, you don't need. I don't need a Lambo either. I'd rather have. I like my trucks. I don't like Lambos and stuff like that. Nothing against Lambos, but I'm more of a truck guy. So
They have, I think, deleted Luna on TradeView.
oh shoot, really? I know that. I
Luna-
think Binance or somebody was going to take it down. They're not going
Yeah.
to list it
There's
anymore.
no
Yeah.
US on here. Ah,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Larry, can we just state this to Keith? Can we just state this to him? Keith, look, I'm gonna look at the camera because it looks like I'm looking at you, right?
Oh,
We love you coming on here, hanging out, man. Like we become a lot more comfortable with you and stuff. It's just we love just hanging out with you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a
man.
lot of fun. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's great because everybody has different ideas. It sucks. You ask yourself the same thing. What if I would have made that choice of selling it at this level or that level? You never can really time the top. There's nobody that can sit here and time the top, time the bottom. I look at that when you see that big of a dump. Who would not want to get in? Come on, no financial advice, whatever financial advice, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the bottom. You're pretty much saying, okay, what I think, fall. I don't know. I have a feeling. Let's just say it goes all out, right? And when it hits, man, I think next year is going to be I don't know. I think next year is going to be a pretty ugly year, but that's me.
Looks like common sense is I think Common Sense might be a whale in CVC. I know he loves CVC. So Common Sense is a big supporter of our channel. So that's shout out to Common Sense here.
And that's the thing. You want to make sure these guys feel comfortable with their money. That's why I think staking is going to be great. Listen, when we do the staking, we want to make sure it's perfect. I mean, or to an extent, okay? To where people are like, hey, man, my money, I want to make sure it's safe. That's the problem, with this space right now. Nobody knows what's safe and what's not,
Yeah.
Yes, trust. Listen, that's another thing. We really got to watch out what tokens we're getting, any token right now. I know, no offense. I know there's a lot of e-news out right now.
Too many, yeah.
Too many news.
Too many. I'm sick. I hope that they don't come out with any more.
Somebody's gonna make an exchange. It's gonna be called Too Many Inu with the number 2.
Oh God. Oh no.
Right? Too many.
There you go.
Inu.
Somebody's gonna come out with it, and that's the thing. And that's what I think the government wants to come into. I think he's saying, okay, well, we're gonna start having everybody lose money because eventually, people are gonna, sue. Well, they are right now suing Uniswap and saying, hey, I mean, all they have to do is just a simple KYC. Do something, right? With exchange, right? I mean, exchange.
I'm glad you brought up the KYC because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just that. I mean, people think like KYC is rocket science. It ain't rocket science. It's just more of your own due diligence.
Yeah, get their ID, get something. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you can't tell me you're behind. The 8 ball where, I didn't think of this, we all explained to you guys last year, hey, Uniswap, go, especially B&B side, now look at the B&B side, guys.
Pancake swap.
Yeah, Pancake Swap's probably going to be next. But I'm glad you brought up Uniswap, Keith. And, it's kind of like we look at XRP, was it like 30 cents, something like that? I wouldn't be surprised if, when the lawsuit comes into full circle, that you're going to see things like Uniswap is going to tank. And if anything, it would be a buying opportunity for long term. But for me personally, like I was telling Larry and I was telling our audience, I have way too many long term plays. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I need to have a few that are simply the short term ones because let's just be honest with everything that's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. No, you're right. You're right. And yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, today, the whole crypto market I see now, it's rising now. I'm been looking at this while I was talking to you guys, things are going up a little bit, Bitcoin hovering almost at 30 again,
That's good, yeah.
Well,
It's
actually, let's take a moment to look at Mr. Street's comment. He says, not to be a downer, but when government puts its hands in crypto, I'm out. What are your thoughts on that? Both Larry and Keith, I'd like to hear what you really
no,
think about that statement.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean, I get it that, well, yeah, okay. So I agree with that guy, first of all, on some points of when the guy announced, what was it? The House and the Senate said, when he said the top token was Mongoose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They went out and made a
that.
Mongoose coin. Yeah.
He's got
And, that and being a rug, by the way.
Yeah.
The official one, yes.
All the tokens.
And they even
He
had
probably
some
was
guys.
involved in it. That whoever made that, whichever congressman or senator, whatever it was.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. But at the end of the day, when he said Mongoose coin, that was created. But the official Mongoose one, right? They even made themselves look like they're docs. They had a guy that they would do like this AMA thing, and he would hold a cell phone. And it would be the head developer from the project. He would never show his face or anything like that. But it was kind of like, I'm the messenger. I clearly don't know anything about this Mongo crypto project. And they did an AMA. And you should, for those who are just curious, go back to some of these old videos on YouTube and watch it. It is the most ridiculous AMA I've ever seen, ever.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Mongoose. So, and on that, to the guy, yes, yes, when they get their hands on stuff, yes. Does it cause problems? Absolutely. I really hope. I mean, look, they really don't want to mess with. Hey, whoever's paying their taxes, hey, I mean, I'm sure there's some that are not. I heard, they're not. But hey, that's not. But yeah, they want that money. They need it right now, guys.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a money move. The government will act like they're trying to protect everybody. I think that's like the secondary part of it. I think the first part is they're a piece of the pie. That's what they're after. And, they have to protect the good old boys or the old guard, whatever you want to call the bankers. They got to protect them because they're the ones looking at this like, well, we're offering 0.25%, and everybody, crypto's offering 10, 15%. So that's what they're going to try to do.
Exactly. And you're right. And with crypto right now as it sits, guys, it's gonna. I don't know what you guys think about what the type of fall that's gonna happen. I think we missed the big one, so I don't know. I think we're gonna see maybe I don't know, not advice, but maybe we're gonna see some kind of little run come up, in July, August, September, October.
I hope so. I hope that they bring Terra Luna up with him too. And Common Sense is going to buy an island if he's got 16 million of them.
Hey, I saw Trap just commented. Trap Gravity, you're regular on here. We appreciate you. You said 38% on Hex. The bottom is not in. Shout out to you, Trap. Thanks again for always helping out the channel and supporting us.
Richard, I did not realize that. I totally forgot. Mention us already.
He did? Richard Hart? Yeah.
Did on
good.
His channel. That was really awesome, guys.
That's good.
He's going to be excited when he sees.
Oh man, that's more than good. That's great. I mean,
Police actually just told me an hour ago on the other AMA I was on with Texas Tornado. I was like, oh my god, he did mention it. It says here. Richard excited. He cannot wait to see them finally ranked, which they are right now top 5. So
yeah, it's I don't understand why in the world Hex doesn't get ranked. It's like
it's right.
Well, if anything, guys, it's a huge catalyst for both projects, right? They're gonna kill me if I call them a project for their product. That's one thing I learned.
Yeah, Hex. It's a product.
So, Hex is big.
Yeah, they are. There's a lot of millionaires in Hex. Like there's over 300 millionaires that are sitting in Hex.
I told him on Bleed's channel. I found out because somebody told me about it. I didn't know because they weren't on the first page. And he says exactly what's happening with everybody. Some of them don't even. So it's something I learned.
We need to figure out a way. I don't know. This is going to be like a long shot. This is like Terra going back to $100. If we could figure out a way to get Richard Hart on this channel, I think it would make this. It would definitely make this stream right here.
Oh man, Crypto Wendy and all of them. I mean, on his channel. Oh, I heard they had thousands. Like,
yeah.
He's that's something else.
We like watching him. Yeah, he was on Wendy's Wendy O show or whatever. Yeah.
I know him and one of his guys, and see what they say, because I'm sure that he wants to get out there. I mean, they're 2 weeks, they're ready to launch. So it's going to be pretty big for them. I know they're going to do really well. I just know it,
Yeah.
And they're way bigger than us. We're going to get up there, guys. We got to start somewhere.
But that's really going to help you guys at CVC though, to be able to, rank somebody like Hex properly, because if they start realizing that you're doing that for them and they keep mentioning you, that's going to really help out CVC. Yeah.
And I think in the beginning they were realizing, man, is this guy real? Do you think he could do it? I was like, oh, it's already done. The reason why we're still working on the UI. So we're making sure everything looks good. We took out the mining pools. Really, the carousel we'll have for the news. There's a lot of different things that we're going to do that you guys, what you see now, please don't. It's going to be nothing we're going to see. So
we need Trap Gravity. We need you to go talk to Trap Gravity. He's a big Hex guy. We need you to go talk to Mr. Richard Hart and get him to come on our show so that we can make our channel. It'd be like getting on like Elon Musk or somebody like that.
I DM him. I didn't realize, my God, I totally missed it. And I watched part of one of his channels, like, oh, and then somebody sent me it over. I was like, oh no, and I wrote down some notes too, rewatching their videos. He has really good points. I mean,
thanks, Mr. Streets. We appreciate it. We understand you gotta go. Thanks so much.
Got to go to work. I think we're going to wrap it up with Keith so that we can have him come back another time. He'll probably come back with Cliff. And we'll all hang out together, and we'll get Tedi Ganja to come too, and it'll be a lot of fun. So any final words, Max? I'll let you talk first, and then if Keith wants to say anything, we'll say goodbye to everybody. But Max, if you want to say anything to the audience or to Keith, and
I do. I want to say, no, absolutely. I want to say one thing, of course, to the audience first, and then also to Keith, and that is, if you left with anything, leave with this, and that is, I know this is an incredibly emotional time for a lot of us. You might be one of those persons who got absolutely destroyed in Terra Luna and so on. You may feel as though to heck with crypto all in general and so on. All I'll say is this: I could completely understand where you're coming from, and at the same time, for those of us who never got into Terra Luna and so on, I look at it just from it's a lottery basically. But even if you didn't get into Terra Luna and so on, I just want to state crypto in general, a lot of us are having doubts and so on. And for a lot of us who aren't having so much doubts, but are thinking like maybe these are buying opportunities or so on, keep in mind it could go further down. We could get more and more destroyed. And with that said, do your best, or do the best you can to look into just the little things, like whether it's small token cap projects, big ones, it doesn't matter. Got to do your own research. We've said it so many times.
Except for me, I just listen to Max, but we can't. Nobody else can do that. But
now you guys gotta really look into these things, especially if you're doing the stable coin staking and stuff like that. Try to see, is this particular stable coin, like for instance UST, is it tied into something else out there that I'm not even aware about? You know what I mean? So it's just more of that at the end of the day is what I'll leave you guys with. Because at the end of the day, none of us, right? We don't know some of you guys in person and so on, but that doesn't even matter. What matters is we don't want to see anybody get destroyed on anything. And I mean that 100%. So that's what I'm going to state to you guys. As far as Keith, man, I'll be honest. We love having you on the show.
Thank you.
We feel really comfortable with you. You're very laid back. Common Sense mentioned me, I think like a couple days ago. He said one thing that he loved about our show is he feels like he's hanging out with some friends, having a good time and so on. I honestly feel that way about you, Keith. I feel like you're a friend. We can hang out with you and just have a good time and so on. At the end of the day, like what Larry was telling me originally, he was like, yeah, it says Crypto Talk now. It kind of looks like a news show, but we're not like just a news show. We're, informing people about certain topics in crypto and so on, but we're having a talk show,
a real conversation. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
A real one.
Right.
So thank you, Keith. Yeah.
Thank you, Keith. Yeah. Thanks for coming. I'll give you the last word, Keith, if you want to say anything to the audience, and then we'll sign out.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, we need to bring crypto together. I get it. Everybody, all the arguments and all the craziness that goes around, you get nowhere. But you don't want to put fear in the market of somebody trying to invest in a token or a coin. And, you ever wonder why This is the reason why, guys. One, right, you have centralized. You have those coins out there, right? The big exchanges, the big dogs, the big investors are always going to be on those exchanges because I talked to a couple pretty big whales, right, that invest in Bitcoin and Ether. And I asked them, man, do you ever go on Twitter? One says, "What's Twitter?" Like, dude, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
Right. You don't know what it is? He goes, "No, I have no time for that." I mean, he has hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars they invest. That's what I'm talking about. So when us people, like I say, the smaller, like me, they get on there and go on Twitter or something like that, these guys don't even worry about it. They don't listen to all this stuff. They go off of their charts, what they do, and or they get advice from their people, right? So understanding, we want to try to bring those guys over here, but they don't want to do it. He says he's a jerk. This guy says, you know what, man, I don't like it. You see what I'm saying? That's just not good for this space. So if we want to make sure that DeFi is going to be here for a long time, we need to just get communities together, just like Cliff's doing. Cliff wants to go ahead and get all the Doge Swap people together and create one of these big groups, which would be probably around 300,000 people. And think about it. Now we have a big group, and now we can start spreading the word of different things we want to do to help the space out. Show your face. I forgot what this saying was that he was saying. Show your face. I forgot what it was. I'm sorry, guys. But to get you out there, because if people don't know who they're investing, when you guys go, you guys know who the owner is. Obviously, Apple, right? We knew before who the owner was before he passed away. But I'm just saying this. You know who he is, right? The name, right? Who do we know in some of these tokens?
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
That's true.
So we're going to invest in tokens that, wait, you're a business, right? Or are you a business? We don't even know some of these are businesses, right? That's what the government wants to start doing. They want to come in here and say, okay, look at. So we've already done our work already with them. It was in January. So they know who we are or who I am. So I did all that paperwork and I went through the system. And now they're like, okay, John Doe, I know who you are. But some of these tokens, who are they? You say your business. Okay, what's your business? What's your LLC? Are you LLC? No, I didn't do that yet. You see what I'm saying? It comes out to, possibly could, unfortunately, lose everybody's money, rug pull, and all that. So I just think that we need to change space around and start, having these conversations and get people together. So yeah.
No,
That's
you're
true,
absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think there's just power in numbers. It's good to work together, and the tribalism and the fighting between the communities, I would like to see go away. I think a lot of people would agree with that. So.
Right.
But yeah, we thank you again for coming on and joining us. And then hopefully we'll see you again next week with Cliff and Tedi.
Yep.
And it'll be great. So, all right, guys, everybody be
Looking
safe.
forward to it, Keith.
Have a good night out there. We're going to sign off. Take care.
Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.